connect on it. We couldn't. I'm just thankful Dan Henning, our offensive coordinator, had the faith. He told us, he said, y'all going to get it done just fine in the game, and I'm glad it worked out.
Hey, that's true. We had some miscues, but that's what practice is for. Practice is not to make you perfect. It's for improvement.
And we saw improvement last year from Panthers quarterback Bryce Young. Jake, the second half of the season, and especially the way he finished, that's now the springboard for this year.
There's no doubt. The way he finished last year, just overcoming what he had to overcome, being benched by a new head coach that didn't draft you after the second game, then getting thrust back into action late October, just to watch him finish end of November all through December, and how he finished in Atlanta the last game of the season. There's so much confidence going forward in Bryce Young that he can be the franchise quarterback for Carolina, and they believe in him, and they've given him the weapons to be able to prove it.
Well, you know, with these weapons that they've given him, they've added through the draft for free agency wide receivers, but also through with the tight ends and the tight ends room and running back. And so now it takes a little bit of pressure off the #1 overall pick to say he doesn't need to carry the team. Now collectively, we are a team.
We'll see what the Panthers can do in their preseason opener. We'll see what Shedeur Sanders will do. He gets the start. Plus, Carla Metz has a report on Carolina's vastly improved defense.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
Our mentality is clear. Attack.
Everybody up! Everybody up! Let's go!
We're built to hunt. Not here to blend in, but to break through. A team ready to emerge from the shadows, defend our lair, and prey on new territory. Chest out and eyes set on one goal.
That's it, man. Let's win today.
Win. Win in preparation. Win in performance. Win in all phases. It takes heart to carve out a legacy, and we're hungry to leave our mark.
Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina. You're watching Panthers football presented by Atrium Health. The arrow is pointing up for Carolina, and it starts with third-year quarterback Bryce Young looking to build off a strong finish from last year. Meanwhile, for the Cleveland Browns, the eyes of America on the much ballyhooed Shedeur Sanders, who makes his Cleveland Browns debut. But from the present to the past, go back to that magical 03 season. The play was ex-Clown, Jake Delhomme to Steve Smith. Game-winning touchdown in St. Louis in double overtime. The Panthers won that divisional round game. They got to the NFC Championship eventually, all the way to the Super Bowl. And speaking of ex-Clown, Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith in the house. Guys, I love you. I'm just hoping the play works tonight like I did in the game and not in practice.
I think you're exactly right. We tried all week long in practice to connect on it. We couldn't. I'm just thankful Dan Henning, our offensive coordinator, had the faith. He told us, he said, y'all going to get it done just fine in the game, and I'm glad it worked out.
Hey, that's true. We had some miscues, but that's what practice is for. Practice is not to make you perfect. It's for improvement.
And we saw improvement last year from Panthers quarterback Bryce Young. Jake, the second half of the season, and especially the way he finished, that's now the springboard for this year.
There's no doubt. The way he finished last year, just overcoming what he had to overcome, being benched by a new head coach that didn't draft you after the second game, then getting thrust back into action late October, just to watch him finish into November all through December, and how he finished in Atlanta the last game of the season. There's so much confidence going forward in Bryce Young that he can be the franchise quarterback for Carolina, and they believe in him, and they've given him the weapons to be able to prove it.
Well, you know, with these weapons that they've given him, they've added through the draft for free agency wide receivers, but also through with the tight ends and the tight ends room and running back. And so now it takes a little bit of pressure off the #1 overall pick to say he doesn't need to carry the team. Now collectively, we are a team.
We'll see what the Panthers can do in their preseason opener. We'll see what Shedeur Sanders will do. He gets the start. Plus, Carla Metz has a report on Carolina's vastly improved defense.
If you want total health care from a provider you trust,
Hi, Blair.
right in the palm of your hand, if you want soup, sweatpants, and zero in-person contact, if you want wellness wherever, our virtual primary care delivers with great website manner.
No worries.
So choose your doctor from our profiles and enjoy the healthiest online relationship you've ever had. House calls have evolved. Atrium Health.
Everyone say that I am too young to do my own thing, but I know they're wrong. You see, Mama not worried and Papa never did. I'm just a little bitty girl like a whole lot of kids doing my own thing. Check me out, fella. Tell me what you think.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, our departure has been delayed.
Yes! Are you kidding me, man? Why are you so happy?
I'm watching the game.
Seriously?
Yeah, with NFL Plus.
Get live, local, and primetime games on mobile with NFL Plus.
Unfortunately, our flight has been delayed another hour.
NFL Plus. Keep the NFL in reach.
MVP! Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Atrium Health. At Atrium Health, we do more to keep you moving, achieving, striving at every age and stage so you can live fully. By Bank of America, official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Coke. Game day deserves the great taste of Coca-Cola because fan work is thirsty work. By Bojangles, the official tailgating headquarters and iced tea of the Carolina Panthers. It's bow time. By Ticketmaster. Buy or sell Panthers tickets on Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the NFL. Grab tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Panthers. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, North Carolina's most preferred health insurer. And by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Carolina Panthers. Scenes from from Wednesday's joint practice between the Panthers and the Browns. Tonight, Shamar Bartholomew and J.J. Jansen are mic'd up for Carolina.
His face mask, you look like you kiss him on the lips. I feel like I'm back in a cavern.
I know.
I got you. We're locked and loaded, baby.
Well, J.J. Jansen, the longest tenured Panther in franchise history. Panthers won the toss, elected to defer. Matthew Wright will kick it away. He and Ryan Fitzgerald competing for the job of starting place kicker. And back deep for Cleveland, Caden Davis and Luke Floria. New kickoff rules this season mean touchbacks that go into or out of the end zone on a fly. Put the ball at the 35-yard line. You got to get it in that landing zone between the 20 and the goal line. This one bounces, it hits Davis, has to retreat to get it. He is spun down at about the 21-yard line. That's what you want to do on these new dynamic kickoffs. And we get our first look at Shedeur Sanders. Jake, maybe the most ballyhooed fifth-round pick of all time. This was somebody at the combine that people thought could go in the top 5 picks, maybe even #1 overall.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's someone that has drawn plenty of attention and certainly gets a start tonight. Anxious to see what Coach Stefanski will do. I anticipate him being on the move a great amount with some negatives and boots like they like to do in Cleveland.
The Panthers have most of their first-team defense out there. Browns not playing many starters on both sides of the ball. And on first down, it's Dylan Sampson, SEC Player of the Year in Tennessee last year. Ran for more than 1,400 yards. Starting lineups brought to you by Atrium Health. And again, Cleveland going with a lot of 2s and 3s. And Shedeur Sanders starting more so by necessity. Joe Flacco, 40 years old, being held out. Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel both have hamstring injuries. Shedeur, QB4, but by default, QB1 tonight. Sampson in motion. On the quick slant, that is off the hands of Deontay Johnson, the former Panther, who hears some cheers from this Bank of America crowd.
Well, you got to understand, you know, when you've been on this team and the way Deontay Johnson was his exit and how his season transpired last year, you got to come out there and make that catch. I thought the ball was slightly high, but yet catchable, and every receiver knows when the ball hits your hands, that's your responsibility.
Panthers remade their defensive front. First third down, they bring 4. Sanders, quick throw underneath. And that is going to be just shy of the marker. 4th down and short catch made by Caden Davis.
Yeah, it looks to be a little short. Shedeur's done a nice job just sitting in the pocket, in a good pocket, and basically a little spot route, and he was able to stick it on him. But just a little bit short, they're going to go and put it.
Well, I love the way they were sitting in his own coverage. Shedeur takes his time, goes through his progressions, doesn't force anything, allows his offense to get a possible opportunity because he made the right read.
Christian Roseboom, free agent acquisition, the green dot, an inside linebacker made the tackle. Corey Bajorquez to punt it away where he Blackshear waits. Blackshear retreating all the way to his 11. He slips, able to get up, and he is swarmed near the 10-yard line. They mark him down at the 9. Let's check in with Carla Metz.
Yeah, Nish, let's talk a little bit more about this defense. Maybe no greater addition than who they're going to get returning this year with Derek Brown officially cleared from that meniscus tear last season. He's not playing tonight. We do expect him next week in Houston. There's 7 new faces on defense, and many of them, Anish, expected to be starters. They're really trying to turn around a historically bad defense from last season.
Yeah, they put a lot of resources into that defensive front and at edge rusher. Starters on for the Panthers. Bryce Young under center on first down. It's Chuba Hubbard, and again, it's against the Browns 2s and 3s. And Hubbard with a nice pickup on first down. Bryce Young going into year 3. Steve, it's been a roller coaster ride the first 2 years, but that roller coaster was heading in the right direction at the end of last season.
Absolutely. You see these numbers. Obviously, the first couple of weeks it was tough to watch. However, Bryce Young stayed in there and did his job, still brought his lunch pail, and shows just the fortitude that the young man had.
That one dropped by Chuba Hubbard. As we look at starting lineups for the Panthers, brought to you by Atrium.
Yeah, we went out and empty on that particular set. Bryce didn't have anybody kind of open, and he went to probably his 4th read on that. And that was Chuba just a little bit behind it.
Panthers returned their top 9 on the offensive line from a year ago. Tenaroa McMillan, T-Mac, first wide receiver, if you don't count Travis Hunter taken in the draft. T-Mac, big target out of Arizona. Rico Dowdle into the game at running back on 3rd down. Young steps up, eludes the pursuit, and then pulled down after a short pickup by Alex Wright. It's 4th down, so 3 and out means we'll likely see this offense get one more series.
Yeah, we will see this offense. I know they wanted to get at least 6 to 10 plays. We did have to start Ja'Terry Carter at guard tonight. Damian Lewis is out for this football game. And it looked like he might have got beat on that particular play. Bryce stepped up in the pocket, but wasn't quite able to get through the grasp and get a first down.
Sam Martin will punt from his own end zone.
You know, when you're going against a Jim Schwartz defense, he's going to blitz. He's going to overload, confuse the young players, confuse the offensive line. So that's pretty typical first couple of series.
Martin taking over for Johnny Hecker, who went to Tennessee. Here's Floria. Zigzags his way to the 38-yard line.
That's 2 special teams plays in a row and 2 plays made by Thomas Incoom.
You're watching Panthers football presented by Atrium Health.
Sunday.
Scoreless first quarter. Keys to the game brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Jake, your keys for Carolina.
I think the biggest thing is play fast and play tempo. That's what Coach Canales has been preaching, and that's what they wanted to do in this first drive. Get in and out of the huddle, move the ball, get some first downs. Unfortunately, couldn't have success on second down, which led to third down, had inside pressure. We just couldn't get to it.
But also understand when you're playing fast and playing with tempo, you got to read your keys. and you got to have sound fundamentals, because you just don't want to shoot your gun and not know where and get one of your teammates hurt.
Play cash from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Pick one pop to match and win. On sale now. Blitz coming. Shedeur Sanders check down. Trevion Williams rumbles into Panther territory.
Yeah, really nice play call by Stefanski. We sent a blitz. We sent Trevin Wallace on a blitz, and they would get the screen right behind him. And good job by the running back making him miss, looking like he was going to block him, and 3 linemen for the Browns down on Roseboom, and it was able to get a nice first down. But good play for Shedeur. Give him confidence.
That's great play. But Nick Scott did a great job of taking on offensive lineman, was able to slip underneath and tie him up and let Roseboom come over.
Sanders loads up. Look at a tangled mess along the sideline. No flag. Corey Thornton in coverage for the Panthers. He has impressed in camp, and he's got a chance as an undrafted rookie to make the 53.
He definitely does, and that's something that, in speaking with Dan Morgan about him, he just talked about his size, his physical play. Speed is not one of his greatest attributes, but he said he's so technically sound, and he said he doesn't play like a rookie. He's a young kid that came in here, just extreme confidence, but very mature.
He was locked up with Deontay Johnson, the former Panther. On the ground this time, and not a whole lot. Dylan Sampson, former Tennessee running back, and it's Trevin Wallace coming up with the stop.
But you see, Smith Wade had the opportunity to blitz, read his keys, and he was in there on the tackle to slow things down. This is what you want to see from your sophomore corner, who primarily played in nickel. And understand that playing in nickel in the NFL means that you have to support the run.
I've got Trayvon Merrick playing closer to the line of scrimmage now. He'll be that strong nickel, and Smith Wade can slide to safety at times. Pressure coming. Sanders escaping, running, and slides for a first down. Steve, deceptively fast.
Deceptively fast. He's not as fast as Prime, but he looked really fast on there and surprised some guys, getting down, taking what the defense gives him. Look, this is what you want to see from your young rookie.
Yeah, very much so. They're going empty with him a lot tonight. They're spreading it out. They're letting him see the field, and we just missed. Turk Wharton was able to come on a stunt, and he just missed. But nice job by Shedeur, seeing the open space, making him miss, getting the first down, and getting down.
Wharton came over from Kansas City. 6 sacks in the team's last 8 games, including the postseason. On the reverse, this is Davis, upended by Corey Thornton. The undrafted rookie out of Louisville starting tonight with J.C. Horn out.
Read his keys, double reverse. He doesn't chase. He stays in his area and makes the tackle. That's what you want to see from a young rookie. Doesn't have the speed, but he has the technique and the fundamentals.
6'1", 195 pounds, and he looks it. He is a thick corner, not afraid to tackle.
Dave Canales and Dan Morgan both praised his physicality yesterday. On second down, off play action. Sanders pumps, hit by Ashawn Robinson, moves the pocket and floats it too high for Dylan Sampson, 3rd and long. And now the Panthers dial up a little pressure here.
Yeah, the Panthers came. Ashawn Robinson was able to get the initial penetration and make Shedeur bail out to his left. And basically, once you start bailing out, find the open guy. And really and truly, he had Sampson open. The pass just kind of floated on him.
Well, it floated on him because he also tripped up. Didn't have the opportunity to set his feet. And you know, I never played quarterback, but I've watched you do it enough. When you don't set your feet, the ball seems you have less ability to control the pass. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
Yes.
Over the middle, that is complete. Shaw Smith-Wade finally slows up Jamari Thrash, the former Louisville Cardinal. He's going to bring up 4th down and short, and this is very much go-for-it territory.
Yeah, very much go-for-it territory. They're lining up in a trip set, 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Shedeur liked the matchup to the left, and we funneled the receiver inside. We had help coming from the safety. We just needed to wrap up immediately, so it would have been 4th and about 3, but he was able to fight forward to make it a short 4th and 1.
And it's good job by Jamari Thrash of crossing the face of the corner.
corner blitz. Sanders in trouble. Now near midfield. Waddle had him in his grasp. And Sanders just able to get rid of the ball. That was one of the knocks on him coming out of college. He can tend to hold on to the ball too long. Panthers ball when we come back. We'll see Bryce and the first team on the other side. But after a word from your local Panther station. It's been a pretty mild week weather-wise here in Charlotte. We've had some rain, but not as hot as it's been most of this summer. Can't complain with temperatures in the 80s in August. And for Bryce Young and this offense, they went 3 and out the first time. Second series, Chuba Hubbard is the running back. Teteroa McMillan lined up wide to the right. Thielen's the motion man. Brown's showing blitz. They bring it. Young throws a jump ball for T-Mac, and he makes the catch.
Great catch. Would you like me to talk about the great catch, or would you like somebody who caught 10,000 passes talk about the great catch?
Great job. It is a go route. They run 3-by-1. They allow Adam Thielen to run motion to see if it's man-to-man coverage. Listen, T-Mac is tall, but I can tell you this. When the ball is thrown, it's his ball and his ball only.
There's Hubbard scavenging forward inside the Cleveland 40. Jake, did that bring you back a little bit?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think the biggest thing to me that I enjoyed, he kept distance from the sideline, and that is so critical, especially for a young wide receiver.
Yeah.
You have a go route, you take off, you want to get past the guy, you lose the side, you get right to the sideline, you lose the ability for the quarterback to drop the ball in. But he kept enough distance to Bryce could drop it in, and he had room to drag his feet.
Yeah, I remember many practices listening to Jake yell at me about that.
Just about that. Hubbard stopped for a loss. You just saw the Brown starting lineups brought to you by Atrium Health. And now we've got some extracurriculars after the play. Looked like Xavier Leggett. His helmet popped off.
Yeah, I think both of those guys are going to get thrown out.
Yeah, I think so.
Multiple flags down.
Because he hit Leggett first.
Rayshawn Jenkins for Cleveland.
Yeah, that's going to be
that's a double ejection.
I would think so. I would think that's going to be the end of the night for Leggett and most likely Rayshawn Jenkins.
But I think Leggett is in trouble he took his helmet.
That's toward the end that we're watching the replay. So yeah,
he was pushing him.
All the officials are now.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's grabbing to the face mask, and Jenkins didn't let go, and Leggett took issue with it, and there were some haymakers being thrown. So
yeah,
I would think that's the end of the night.
It was a good game though for this, guys.
If you're scoring 10-9, Leggett.
I mean, maybe I'm biased because of home field advantage, but yeah, he hit him pretty good.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see if both will be thrown out. Just
yeah, they're talking about discussing. There's a guy who's been thrown out in a regular season game and a preseason game. Preseason game's not bad.
How did I know that you were going to say? Well, the one thing about it, the second down play is disappointing. We didn't get much.
Number 28. Those penalties will offset at the dead ball spot. Both of those players has been disqualified.
No surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. And
it's disappointing because for a guy like Xavier Leggett, Steve, second-year player, looking to build off an up-and-down rookie season, these reps matter.
See, I don't think I don't necessarily look at it as a disappointment. When you talk about this Carolina Panthers team and you look at the opening, make your mark. Leggett is a great, charismatic guy. But would you, out of all those receivers, would have thought that that guy would have been thrown that? So to me, a young guy who's saying, I want to believe a mark as well. You just drafted a first-round guy last year after you drafted me. So I like the enthusiasm to say, hey, I got a chip on my shoulder. And the preseason is about establishing what you want to do the rest of the year. So I love it. But he got popped in the nose because he got some tissue in his nose.
Empty set, free play. Young steps up. And that one thrown behind Adam Thielen.
Yeah, we got defense to jump off sides, and Bryce knew it. Was able to step up in the pocket. Just threw the ball a little bit behind Thielen.
Defense number 57. 1-yard penalty. First down.
Isaiah McGuire jumped. First down, Panthers.
And you got something more in this second drive. First drive, 3 and out. That's disappointing. I know offense was disappointing. Now we've got a couple of first downs going. Let's finish it off. Yes, I know we have a kicker competition, but let's finish it off with a touchdown.
Rico Dowdle coming off a 1,000-yard season with the Cowboys last year. Played his college ball in South Carolina. Former high school quarterback in Asheville, North Carolina.
Heck of a football player, too. He gives the Carolina Panthers that explosiveness, that different type of pace that Chuba Hubbard is. Chuba Hubbard is a great downfield, pats it ahead of him. But Rico has that ability to spring it loose anytime.
Top of your screen. DB backs off McMillan. Looking for McMillan. His second catch and a first down Carolina in the red zone.
Great catch, good slant route. Love how the corner backed off, so he runs his route. He doesn't get too excited. Gets his right depth, on-time throw. Catch, tries to get out there a little bit, but secures the catch first. That's the most important. Now it's the first down.
Yeah, nice play. You get a first. You want to be aggressive, right? Dave Canales wants Bryce to take more shots on first down and things of that nature, and that's what we're kind of seeing tonight. But Bryce certainly looks in total control.
2 catches, 42 yards from McMillan on the drive. Off the play fake. Young on the drag and finds Adam Thielen for another first down.
You know, we talk about Bryce Young, and so many people talk about his size, but his special, the it factor to me is the anticipation and the accuracy. He's rolling out to his left. The quarterback, a right-hander, going to his left. How accurate he threw the ball to Thielen so he can catch and run.
Touch.
Exactly. Nice and easy. He didn't kill him with the ball. And there's nothing that Steve liked more, an under route or whatnot. Let me run. Give it to me soft so I can run.
Let's see if this is a jump ball from McMillan. First and goal. Young to Dowdle. Hammerheads his way to the 5-yard line. Dowdle's best game last year came on this field. Ran for a career-high 149 against the Panthers.
I would imagine right here, the red zone, they struggled a lot last year. So I would imagine right here, you're on the 5-yard line. You just drafted T-Mac. Your number one guy, your number one draft pick last year just kicked out of the game. Why not establish, hey, we want to give a guy an opportunity up at the top? I would imagine the ball's going to him. Should be.
Young looking for McMillan. He was open off his hands. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that ball surprised him a little bit. It was almost like a double move, so to speak, and he got him, and Bryce let the ball go. Bryce did not hold on to the ball. He went out, it was a double move, and the ball is there. That's the difference. That's the NFL, right? That's the NFL.
When you talk about, when I talked about T-Mac last year, he's at times you kind of seem to, he's a slow burn, kind of that California, Hawaii, hey. In a football game, you gotta be quick.
JT Sanders, the tight end. 3rd and goal. Pocket collapsing. Young rolling, directing traffic. Throws to Coker for a Carolina touchdown.
Coker was in the end zone. Bryce waved him off to rotate out the opposite way. Cornerback was turned. Great placement by your quarterback. Great route by your undrafted wide receiver. We talked about in an opener, the more tools in the tool shed, and what's going to happen, it takes the load off your quarterback.
And what a great job by Bryce. Got some pressure, rolled out to his right, directed traffic. Cornerback for Cleveland was lost. Coker was stationary. Bryce told him where to go as soon as he took off, balls in the air, directly in front of his face mask. Fantastic job. Nice second drive, right?
And Coker this offseason, Dan Morgan, general manager, head coach, all talked about how Coker took this offseason and worked his tail off to get better. And the stigma of undrafted doesn't care.
Oh, he made a case for himself a year ago. As Matthew writes, PAT is good. It's 7-0 Panthers. 9 plays. 68 yards, the capper, a Bryce Young touchdown to Jalen Coker.
It's bow time.
Since 2018, David and Nicole Tepper have committed deeply to supporting communities across the Carolinas. Together in 2020, they established the David and Nicole Tepper Foundation, investing capital and expertise to address the most pressing issues of our day, including food insecurity, basic needs, education, and disaster relief. As the foundation's founders and namesakes, David and Nicole remain fervently committed to addressing societal ails and inequities, both on a national and local scale. 7-0 Panthers. Bryce Young, 4 for 6, 58 yards. A touchdown pass to Jalen Coker. It's probably the end of the day for the first string as Floria fields the kickoff on the bounce. And maneuvers his way across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Jake, we saw some good, and then we also saw a drop from T-Mac on that last drive.
We did, and that was on the touchdown. It was kind of like a post-corner post, and Bryce let the ball go, and T-Mac knows immediately, points back at Bryce, hey, great throw. I've got to get my head around quicker. And that's something that Steve talked about. He talked about a slow burn. When you're that good of an athlete, and you dominate everyone in college, you can just kind of always be smooth. Now it's going to have to be sped up a little bit, but you can just see how gifted he is and his fluid body movement. But that's what he's going to learn. The speed of this game, she's going to be that much quicker.
I agree.
Shedeur Sanders to throw on first down, and that one complete to Brendan Bates, listed third on the tight end depth chart. Panthers now have taken out most of their starters, in fact all of their starters.
Even though the starters are out, one of the things you got to understand too is your starter's not going to be there, but the backups are going to be guys who are going to contribute, and if injuries come up, they're going to be playing.
And with the 17-game season, there will be a ton.
Artificial turf.
Well, first down run for Cleveland. It's Amani Marshall, former App State star, undrafted rookie, played his college ball up in Boone. The weather report is brought to you by Samartin's Purse. 77-degree weather here in mid-August.
This is gorgeous. I flew up from Louisiana, and it wasn't that. Let me just explain that to you.
A little hotter down there.
The Panthers will have to get ready when they go to Houston this week for a little bit of heat and humidity.
Shedeur Sanders still in there as Brown's debut. This is Marshall, gets the edge, and fights his way across the 40. Shamar Bartholomew. Steve, he was an interesting cat last year. Bartholomew was rostered all season. Did not see his first defensive snaps, though, until week 18.
It happens. You're waiting, but he got his opportunity. He stepped up, and he's stepping up now, filling in. That's one of the things in offensive meetings. The offensive coordinator or the offensive lineman says, hey, we're winning when you have a back on a defensive back. That means that everybody's blocked up front, and you're getting that up to the second level.
And you need corners that can tackle. We've seen tonight the corners make good to Corey Thornton. We've seen him multiple times tonight come up and make tackles.
With a play clock down to 1, it's a screen pass. And not much going on. Jamari Thrash made the catch and went backwards for a couple of yards. Nick Scorton, second rounder out of Texas A&M with the TFL.
Yeah, and that's a great play by Nick. Nick was able to fight through a block to go make the tackle. That's a very nice play. One thing about Scorton, 20-year-old kid, he's a child from Texas A&M that we drafted. I think he just turned 21. There's so much more growth and upside to this kid, but listening to him talk, he loves the game of football and just constantly wants to get better. And that's what Dan wanted to draft here, guys that love football.
He doesn't turn 21 till the end of the March. On third down, Sanders airmails his wide receiver. Sal Cannella, the intended target. It's fourth down.
I think that was a good airmail.
I think it was a very good airmail.
Because if he throws it on the mark, number 87 is going in the blue 10.
Yeah, it was a nice job by the Panthers defense. One thing about the defense that we've seen tonight, we've made some good tackles on defense. That's one thing I've seen. I think we're playing hard, and that's exactly what the coaches have preached.
We're going to get our first look at Trevor Etienne, waiting inside his own 10-yard line for Carolina. Fourth round pick out of Georgia, who also played in Florida. And he signals for a fair catch. He was bumped. Might have been friendly fire. Cleveland Looked like they picked up the loose ball. They did. You can't advance a muff.
You can't. So being a former returner, playing in this stadium, the night games always takes you a little bit time to adjust.
Why?
I don't know why, but it's always been that way. Going on the field, it takes your eyes some adjustment. So when doing that, you seen Blackshear, he stumbled. That's because he saw the ball late. And now ETN is the same thing. He's seeing the ball late, and he also doesn't have the ability to take his eyes off the ball because he's just finding
the field is that the ball was touched by a Carolina player, recovered by Cleveland. It's first down at that spot.
And that's
so first turnover of the game.
And you can know because you were a Pro Bowler as a returnman, as a rookie, but ETN's running out. And it's starting to get a little traffic inside of him.
Yes.
So instead of feeding Nick Scott, it was friendly fire, accidentally bumped into him.
Yep.
So when that happens, you've got to run immediately, right? If you feel something, get away.
Well, you also have to say fire, 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 which that alerts the people around you who cannot see the football to get out of the way.
I'm just being curious. And
Yes.
did you ever fumble a punt? I'm trying to think about it.
I fumbled a few punts.
I don't.
Take them my eyes off of it.
Okay.
If you have a suspect blocker on the outside, you got to take a glance. You got a good blocker on the right, Gerard Cooper, then you got maybe somebody suspect on the left. Okay. All of a sudden you go, well, I know. And you start going back and forth. You have an internal dialogue that tricks you.
Thrash in motion. Martin Marshall gets the call, slowed up by Reed. And finished off by big number 99. That's Shy Tuttle into the game for Carolina in the middle of that 3-4 defense. Big number 97, Bobby Brown. He's only 25 years old. Free agent signing for the Rams. Jake, you were telling us the other day, the Browns' offensive front, they were impressed by big 97.
Yeah, absolutely. When you can't move someone, it just causes so many problems. And he actually made a great play on this last play. He got backfield penetration immediately. It's just we weren't able to tackle the running back before he gained a couple of yards.
Quarter number one comes to an end. The Browns inside the Panther 10. When we come back, first a word from your local Panther station. Schroff, Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith, 7-0 Panthers as we begin the second quarter. Big impetus for Carolina in the offseason was to improve the defense. And hard to get a true gauge because Cleveland hasn't played its starters tonight?
No, they haven't. And Cleveland, to me, their strength is their center and their two guards. I just think they're a dominant inside run game, and they haven't played them tonight, and then we wanted to address our front of our defense to stop the run.
Off the play fake, Shedeur Sanders into the traffic. And it is brought in for a touchdown by Caden Davis.
Tip your hat, a very nice throw by Shedeur Sanders.
Great ball placement.
Finally got you on the move. Very nice. Go up to his left. Was able to flip his hips around, get his shoulders turned. Great spot.
Great catch in traffic by the wide receiver as well. Davis, good catch and concentration through defenders' arms.
You know, Shedeur Sanders, there's so much talk about him, and he's never had an issue throwing the football.
No.
The ball comes out of his hands very easy. It's over the top. It's a pretty ball. He gives a catchable ball.
Yes, he does. So what are you saying?
I'm just saying, like, the guy can throw the football, but a lot of it was talking about, okay, adjusting to the speed and listening to him. I didn't get a ton of reps in the spring, and he'll learning this offense and continuing. But throwing the footballs, that's not an issue. I think it might take a little time, but you know what? That's okay. Where you're drafted at in the 5th round, it's okay to take a little time.
He can throw the football. It's never been a question mark. Because of who he is, there's been a question mark. Are we overvaluing because of his last name? Well, there's a ton of coaches in this NFL league right now. If they didn't have the same last name as someone else that was their father, uncle, or grandfather, that they wouldn't have that opportunity. But the difference that is getting overlooked is Shedeur played excellent football with a very average call player with Pat Shermer. Pat Shermer's offense is not very good, and Shedeur suffered from that. Sorry. I know I might get a text from some people about that, but I'm just telling you, I got to call a spade, and it wasn't a spade, it was a club. That's why you lost.
It's amazing to me. You weren't like that when you played. You were so quiet and docile, and you never called anybody out.
Sorry.
If you had it on your bingo card, 14:54 in the second quarter.
They're probably doing it. My daughter has told me they do drinking games when I do the preseason games.
Water, Sprite, 7-Up.
I don't know. She's a grown adult now.
Raheem Blackshear. Subdued at about the 25-yard line. Well, we talked in the open about this Panther wide receiving group. Last year, it was the rookie Leggett who led the team in catches. Adam Thielen, remember, missed time during the season.
Yeah, no, listen, Leggett had 49 receptions. We know Thielen missed all that time with the hamstring injury. Chuba Hubbard caught a bunch of passes out the backfield. And now we have Andy Dalton in, and Andy Dalton's not afraid to let it fly, right?
He'll hand it off here on first down. It's Rico Dowdle out to the 28-yard line, pickup of 3.
You just see the way Rico hit the hole. He put his foot in his ground and just read the zone read. And Coker is right there in the mix blocking. This is a young man out of Holy Cross. I've loved seeing his film at Holy Cross, watching him. The game that I love watching is going against Boston College because he showed me that his understanding of routes and alignment and manipulation.
Coker was the motion man. Dalton back foot throw, incomplete for McMillan.
Yeah, he tried to stick it in. It was a concept where he was able to fake it and go right to the left, and you have Dowdle right in the flat, and you have McMillan coming across on the over, and Andy tried to stick it in on him, and he got a big hit. Like, that's the NFL. You're going to have to start making those contested catches.
Now, when you throw one of those passes, I'm going to give you a look at it.
Yeah, but you're going to catch it.
That's true.
Steve, a guy you liked on tape, Jimmy Horn Jr. into the game.
Jimmy Horn Jr., explosive, using his hands, just got to stay healthy, and he'll contribute to this offense.
6th rounder out of Colorado, where he played with Shedeur Sanders last year.
Come on.
Dalton rolling right, throws downfield. Did Dowdle hold on? He did.
That's a heck of a catch. I'm anxious to see if we're going to do hurry up. job by Andy. Good protection. Stepped up in the pocket. Rico did a nice job of coming into his face.
Panthers go quickly. They get the play off. Dalton, quick throw. There's the speedy Jimmy Horn Jr. Talking to him in training camp, he said growing up, he didn't watch a whole lot of receivers. He watched running backs and their sudden movements. That's how he fancied himself, and he's now in the receiver role, and he's a potential game breaker.
That was sudden.
That was sudden, and what's funny about that, growing up, we used to play throw-up, touch football. Barry Sanders, always try to emulate Barry Sanders because of the movement. So that's great, the smart understanding that.
There's Horn again, the motion man. Dowdle gets the call. He's spun down. A flag is down.
Let's expound on that because I think it's very important. When you're a receiver and you're able to see things and know where to defend.
Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty at the previous spot. Replay second down.
Brandon Walton.
When you know where the defender is when the receiver catches the football, that allows you to be able to visualize where I go so you make the catch and then you can get up the field, and that's where you put the defense in a bind because you know where they are and you're going.
The two rookies at the bottom of your screen, McMillan and Horn. There's the blitz, quick screen. Horn, McMillan the block, and Jimmy out of bounds near midfield. Steve, when we were talking yesterday, you said when you watched Jimmy Horn's tape, you were amazed how often he got open.
I was amazed at how much he got open and didn't get the opportunity. When you're watching him at Colorado State, it was Travis Hunter right, Travis Hunter's left. I can tell you, I watched a ton of film on Jimmy Horn. He should have went to jail multiple times because he was murdering and killing the DB every single time, but the ball was already thrown to Travis Hunter. I mean, double life sentence.
Dalton devoured.
Yeah, Brandon Christensen got beat right at the snap on that play, and that's disappointing. We'd like to see that drive to be extended. Julian Okwara was able to get right around Brady, was able to get a nice jump, and Andy really had no opportunity.
Yeah, no opportunity to set his feet, just trying to protect the football. This is what preseason is about, though. Give your young guys an opportunity to show what they have.
Oh, there's no doubt. And we're seeing bits and pieces. The Jimmy Horn piece that I'd like to see was when he caught the ball, it was a turn up immediately. He plays so fast.
Sam Martin, the veteran, to kick it away. Floria did not call for a fair catch, did not let it bounce. He should have let that bounce. Tried to field it. That's a rookie mistake, and it is dropped near the 5-yard line. Nobody around him, and Jake, for some reason, he tried to catch that ball inside his 10-yard line.
And you know what? I haven't returned as many punts as Steve in my life. Matter of fact, I've never returned a punt in my life.
I was going to say.
So anyway, but that's the thing. Steve talked about the lights, and it looks like you might have had trouble, but it seems like if you start backing up with your heels, let the ball go.
Your heels are supposed to be on the 8-yard line. And if you take more than 2 steps back.
Eligible player downfield on a kick. Carolina number 42. 5-yard penalty at the previous spot. We'll replay 4th down.
Yeah, that's a break for Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a big break.
So when you're on the 8-yard line, that the special team coach is telling you no more than 2 steps. If you have to take 2 steps behind, let it go over your head. But when you're a young guy too, and you have to prove and make this team, hey coach, that's a great warning, but that doesn't mean anything for me trying to make this team. And so that's where you'll see a young guy where now
trying to do too much.
But now he has an opportunity. And I can tell you this, Scotty O used to always say this, nothing good ever happens on re-kicks.
And after midnight.
Okay.
After re-kicks, I can vividly hear that going on in my head. Nothing good ever happens after re-kicks. You're exactly right.
At midnight.
After midnight. So I'm told.
There is no foul on the play. It'll be Cleveland's ball at the dead ball and 10.
Did J.J. Jansen just talk the Panthers?
Yeah, he talked
the penalty.
Good job, J.J. That was probably because he was the guy ineligible down the field.
A legendary litigator, J.J. Jansen.
Get $150 in bonus bets if you win.
Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium, all tied up at 7 apiece between the Panthers and the Browns, and now we are joined by the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young. You got your first snaps under your belt out there. How good did it feel to play some ball right now?
Yeah, it feels great. Off season is so long, and you forget how much you miss playing this game. It's definitely a blessing being able to be out here with the best fans in the NFL. Come out here on a it's not a weekend anymore. I guess not a Sunday, but go out here and play football. It's always great.
Yeah, we've talked a lot this offseason about your starting offensive line, right? They're all returning. That's got to be big for your confidence going into the season.
Yeah, it's huge. It's super rare in this league that you get a full unit coming back. And I think it's huge for us. We have a great group up front, great coaches that do a great job. We all take pride in dominating up front, and that means a lot for me and the entire team.
Let's talk about that second drive that ended in the touchdown pass to Jalen Coker. What'd you like about that drive, and how special was that for Coker to get the first one?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Jalen's someone we all have a ton of trust in. He's played on the biggest stages. He was big for us last year. He's going to continue to be big for us. I think it was a good balanced drive. It's something to build off of on his preseason, but we're competitors. You want to go out there and score every drive. So the second one we got it done. We'll watch tomorrow, clean up other stuff. But right now, just excited to be on the team.
You got your earpiece in. You're listening in on Andy. What's your job the rest of this game?
Yeah, just energy. We talk about that all the time. No matter what it is, we're a family, so we want to support each other. I can't wait to watch these young guys go out and ball. A lot of guys playing there.
There's a lot of rookies these days who are coming into the league who are still older than Bryce Young.
There are many with, my gosh, how mature is he? Just listening to him talk, there's just such a maturity level about him. I think that's going to help him be a successful quarterback in this league.
Shedeur Sanders here on third down. Quick throw. Floria reaches back. Made the catch. Ball's out at the end. He was down, and there's a flag back inside the 10 anyway.
This is where preseason gets interesting. Can the young guys play under control? Can they slow their minds down?
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 87 and 34. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
What do you guys remember from your first NFL preseason game?
Jay?
Oh, I can remember mine vividly. All I went in late in the fourth quarter and a handoff. I had 2 handoffs. I mean, that was it. I wasn't going to have any opportunity. That's what I remember for mine. It wasn't much at all.
For mine is I started as a returner, so I had that opportunity. But as a wide receiver, I felt like I was moving insane, and everyone else was moving like Flash. You just couldn't figure it out. And just, I don't know, up from down.
Jack DeLong and Steve Smith with us tonight. Sanders in and able to complete for a first down. Gage Larvadale played at South Carolina. Before that, Miami, Ohio, undrafted rookie free agent.
It's really and truly one of the first down-the-field passes we've seen from Shedeur in the pocket. And he did a nice job of standing strong in the pocket. We had pressure coming in on him, but he had an in route, set his feet, let it fly. Very accurate throw.
Great route by the wide receiver. Bartholomew fell down a little bit, but that's part of football.
Play action. Sanders pump fakes. Tackled by Thomas Incoom, and Shedeur Sanders picked up 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
You've seen the confidence now in Shedeur. I mean, that's something that, you know, leading up to this game, he hadn't had many opportunities with this offense. He hadn't played that much, and you knew he was going to play a lot tonight. Well, that's what confidence does. You get a couple of passes completed, you're taking some hits, you roll to the left, you get a touchdown pass. Okay, now I'm getting confidence, but not only him, the rest of the team is starting to have confidence in him.
They know that they have an opportunity to catch the football because their guy is going to extend the play and look down the field.
Quick slant off the hands of the intended target, Chase Cota, whose dad, Chad, that's a big part of the '96 Panther team as a safety.
Yes, that's great, but Cota knew going across the middle, you had to button up your chin strap and bite down on your mouthpiece because some pain is coming. And I love it when you catch the football, or you try to catch football, you let the corner know, hey, I'm still here. Yeah, if you were still here, you wouldn't close your eyes and try to catch the ball and drop it.
Did you ever use that in the game before?
No, because I closed my eyes and tried to catch it before.
Quarterback keeper. This will be close.
Looks like he was able to get it. Are we going to get our first look?
Oh, we've got Hawkeye technology.
The Hawkeye technology?
To measure the first downs for the preseason games. It's a lot of what you see in tennis with the ball going in or out.
They already motioned it's a first down. I kind of thought, I was hoping we'd be able to see it. Yeah.
Sure, we'll get it at some point. They still have the chains as a backup and a visual indicator for fans. Martin Marshall gobbled up behind the line of scrimmage. That's a TFL by Bobby Brown, who came over from the Rams.
Yeah, you love seeing that. You know, one of the acquisitions in the offseason to help shore up that defensive front to put up there with A-Shot, to put up with Derek Brown. We need these big bodies. We had some issues stopping the run last year, and he's one of those pieces that hopefully we'll hear a great deal from this season.
Well, the Panthers' run defense historically bad last year, and it was the biggest point of emphasis in the offseason. Sanders standing tall in the pocket, and that is a PBU. Corey Thornton, we have called his name a ton tonight, and he continues, Steve, to make his case for the 53.
He does continue to make his case. He's staying sound, tempo. But one of the things that is another thing that is great is Thornton's in his position, but you see the quarterback, the line is collapsing because of the penetration by the front four, and that's doing a great job. Bobby Brown III did a great job with the Rams, and he's still continuing to show that he can penetrate.
On 3rd and long, Sanders chased by Cody, gets away from Scorton. Buying time, Brown in pursuit now. And Shedeur finally out of bounds, and it was Nick Scorton who came all the way back to force him out of bounds. Remember, Scorton played at 285 last year, dropped a ton of weight in the offseason to get back to about 260, 265.
And that weight that he dropped, he got juked on the on the far left side of the field. However, stay pursuit. That will be a coaching point of emphasis tomorrow or on Monday in practice or on the field.
And Steve, we've got Jimmy Horn on the punt return for Carolina.
My dog. That's returnable.
Jimmy Horn Jr. comes up from the 22.
Right return.
He is lightning in a short race, but that time he got bottled up.
So it was a right return. Got out leveraged by some of his blockers. Had opportunity.
It's Panthers ball. We're back after a word from your local Panther station. Carolina Panthers football is brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, North Carolina's most preferred health insurer. Anish Shroff, Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith, and that is the great Sam Mills.
He was an unbelievable man and football player. And I go way back. I go back to the Dome Patrol when he was with the Saints.
Oh. He and Ricky Jackson and Pat
Vaughn
Swilling.
Johnson and Pat Swilling, whose son just so happens to be on the Panthers.
Yep, Trey Swilling. First down carry for Trevor Etienne. Steve, go back to the last punt there.
So you have a punt return going on right here, and it looks like it's actually going to be a right return. So he stacks it, and then goes that way. He gets tied up a little bit, and all of a sudden he gets off of his marker. No, it's a left return. When he flips the field, that's when everybody loses leverage. That's why he wasn't able to have any blockers.
Andy Dalton, now 4 out of 5, and there is Jimmy Horn Jr. That's the third catch for the rookie out of Colorado.
Nice little route combination right there with the two rookies. You got a corner, outside China route, sits versus zone. Andy gets to decide based on these guys running the integrity of the route. It works out well. Nice pitch and catch.
I think Jimmy tripped a little bit because when he came back inside.
Yeah, he
stumbled a little bit.
Browns nearly jumped. Down the seam. Jalen Coker brings it in with one hand. That's a dangerous man.
But how quick, Andy makes a quick decision, right? He knows Exactly. I have a big box fade. There's 3 receivers to that side. He's going to the middle receiver because the outside corner is pressed. He has all this room. Andy lays it out, and what does Coker do? His left hand is trapped in by the DB, and he just knows, I'm confident in my right. I'm going to haul it in.
Great catch.
That's a great catch, great throw, and we have flags. That's ruining our party.
That should be PI.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Outside. Defense number 63. Personal foul face mask. Offense number 77. By rule, the 5-yard penalty is disregarded. We will enforce the 15-yard penalty after this is to goal. Replay third down.
Yosh Nijman, one of the backup tackles, signed last year. Started 3 games for the Panthers a year ago.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that's, you know, Andy's thinking he has a free play, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting rid of it, and then you have a face mask, so disregard the 5-yard penalty, but assess the other. Now it's 3rd and forever.
Summarized it pretty well. Good job, Jay.
Well, that's
confused, I see.
a little bit. I guess it's preseason for me, right?
3rd and long. Browns in a prevent type of defense. That's James Mitchell. He's vying to be that 3rd tight end with Tommy Tremble still banged up. And the Panthers will have to kick as Sam Martin comes on.
Yeah, that's disappointing. You know, you have a drive that Andy's throwing the ball a little bit. We get some of our guys the ball. We love seeing Coker play, and we just saw him make all those plays last year. The thing that I'm most impressed with him, he catches the ball away from his body. He's not a body catcher, and he extends his hands, and he sucks them in.
That was a 54-yard swing with the catch and the penalty.
Hidden yardage.
Martin's kick, fielded by Caden Davis at the 25. Turns the corner and driven down by who else? Corey Thornton.
Shows up, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Carolina Panthers football is brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, North Carolina's most preferred health insurer.
Keep the NFL in reach.
MVP! The Carolina Panthers' 3rd annual Keep Pounding High School Classic presented by Belk is back at Bank of America Stadium later this month, August 22nd. It's a power-packed doubleheader featuring 4 state title contenders as the Huskies take on the South Point Stallions at 4, followed by a battle of defending state champions as the Grimsley Whirlies take on the West Charlotte Lions at 8. General admission tickets, only $8, good for both games, and available at Ticketmaster.com. Get your tickets today. Shedeur Sanders has played the entirety of the first half, and a TFL for the Panther defense. Trevion Thomas just coming into the game, undrafted rookie from Arkansas State, where he had 5 picks for the Red Wolves a year ago. As you take a look at Nick Scorton, who made the hustle play of the game.
He certainly did, and that's something that when I'm watching him, I just go back to Dan Morgan's initial press conference. I want dogs on this football team. I want guys that want. That's what Nick Scorton is. That's how he plays. He plays a relentless motor. He practices that way, and it's evident in the game. And that's going to get rewarded in film because what he just did.
Sanders moving the pocket. Downfield, throwing it open, makes the catch with one hand before he's driven out of bounds.
And he pulled his hamstring too, though.
Yeah, that's a fantastic one-handed catch. Nice job by Shedeur extending the play, rolling out to his right, and it's
great throw.
It's a great throw and a great catch.
Watch this. See him?
Yeah.
We're at the 2-minute warning. We'll be back after a word from your local Panthers.
Sounds maybe a cliche, but he's just taken this like a champ because he's had to be away from everybody for so long. So I'm impressed. I'm very impressed by him. Sports have helped him make it through. I feel like a lot of it because he's been alone, and he's had his football and his video games. He watches the stats and watches the clips and plays football on his video games and stuff. So that's what's helped helped him, I think, make it through.
Heartwarming moment less than a week ago at FanFest here at Bank of America Stadium. Jace Garland, as part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation program, got to go out on the field and run a play, Jake, for the Carolina Panthers. A heartwarming moment, and it's gotten a lot of national attention, and rightly so. It's just a cool moment, too, to see the guys rally around young Jace.
I guess that's the thing, that we're inspired by someone like Jace.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. We have an opportunity, right? that not many people in this world have. But we get so impacted by someone in his condition, but to be able to see that this is his wish to come out here, and I almost feel inferior when I'm around those young kids like that. Like there's so much of a, I don't know, just more of a person than I am, and just to watch them come and perform. But watch the team, the way they reacted, and it's not fake.
Well, what it does is as athletes, we are catered to. We get to do a lot of things. We complain about the conditions, and yet that's a great reminder of, is our life really that bad? Do we really have damage, really issues? And they're just showing us we don't.
Well said. Lathan Ransom, a rookie out of Ohio State, with the tackle. Travion Williams, veteran running back, longtime Bengal.
Yeah, it's a couple of run plays in a row. They've taken advantage of us. In this last play, Bobby Brown was able to get penetration immediately, just couldn't wrap up. And then Ransom has been one of the talks of training camp. Draft pick out of Ohio State, loves football, loves special teams, has made plays in practice, and they just said he loves the game. Plays fast, wants to hit everything, and that's what you want. Young guys like this to come in and make plays, and now he's getting an opportunity.
There's the blitz, it's picked up. Sanders, and it's caught for a touchdown. Caden Davis.
That's a good throw, too. Great position.
Yeah.
Shador putting the ball away from the defender, allowing the receiver to catch it.
Great job, but the thing that I'm the most impressed with, he moves out the pocket a little bit, and he doesn't get frenetic. He doesn't get all panicky. Sets his feet. Here's the ball right over. You know, it's an over-the-top thrower, right on the money, low and away. Can't get blown up by the safety. Touchdown. Very impressed with him. Tip my hat.
Second touchdown for Caden Davis. And Steve, listen, from the Browns standpoint, this wasn't a great expectations game for Shedeur Sanders. Maybe, you know, the national people who like to yell and have hot takes, it was for them. But he has acquitted himself well here in his pro debut.
It's bow time.
Well, the Panthers' top 3 picks, you're looking at them. Tenaroa McMillan, 8th overall out of Arizona, another wide receiver, big target. Scorton and Uman Mielen, both pass rushers, and then Etienne and Ransom in round 4. They really like what Cam Jackson can be. They see him potentially as a future starting nose tackle. Mitchell Evans adds depth to the tight end room. And Steve, you were singing the praises of Jimmy Horn Jr., a 6th round find earlier in the game.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go to his pro day, and you could just see his explosiveness. And his explosiveness on the field and in person, they match up.
Oh, they ran that out of the end zone. You take a knee there. That ball goes to the 35-yard line. It's ETN, flags down. He gets across the 35, but this might be coming back. 2 flags on the field. Now that's one, Jake, where he catches that ball, even if it bounces in the end zone. Touchback is the 35 now, which in the 2-minute drill is a big deal.
No, it is a big deal. But you also wonder, is Tracy Smith saying, hey, return it? We want to see you return. We want to practice return.
2 fouls on the play, both by Carolina. During the return, holding number 46. That was declined. Holding number 27. We'll go half the distance. It's first down.
Closed captioning for the Panthers television network provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina. Steve, this is an opportunity, with your full allotment of timeouts, 55 seconds to rep your 2-minute offense.
Great 2-minute offense. I'm interested to see. They got number 11, Tony Brown, the second. The Cleveland Browns are really excited about him going against T-Mac. Down at the bottom, it's going to be interesting. I would expect press coverage, looks like isolation, and with Andy Dalton, go up top. If it was Jake, he'd be throwing it to me and nobody else.
Dalton checks down. That's the rookie tight end from Notre Dame, Mitchell Evans, to the 15-yard line, 2nd and 5.
Clock's running, all 3 timeouts. Andy wants a drive starter. Might have had T-Mac on that one, ran a nice slant route.
He was wide open.
Well,
4-man rush. Dalton, back shoulder, Coker sliding catch. And out of bounds with 31 seconds to go. Coker's had a nice game. A touchdown, one-handed catch that was called back due to a penalty.
Yeah, it's a great throw. And one thing we need to talk about, Coker got his head around immediately.
Yes,
T-Mac can learn from that touchdown pass in the first quarter that he potentially dropped. Get your head around immediately and be ready for it.
Another check down over the middle to the 30-yard line. And a timeout by Dave Canales. 2 remaining. 26 seconds to go. Here's another opportunity for your kicker, too, now. There is a kicking competition. Matthew Wright, Ryan Fitzgerald. So a long field goal, especially one that's good, could go a long way in the place kicking competition.
Well, absolutely can go a long way. And we're not really sure who's going to be the one, right, kicking. So we'll see if we can get in position to trot out.
So we're not. We're talking about getting in position, because we're talking about next 10, 15 yards. That ain't happening either. 75-yard kick.
No, we have 2 timeouts. We can attack seams here. I love the check down and things of that nature, but one of those check downs, you wasted so much time and you had to burn a timeout. If it's not there, you almost want to burn one of those.
Yes. That's where you got to look touchdown to check down, not check down to check down.
Dalton sending Horn in motion. Browns look to be in man coverage. Dalton throws. James Mitchell makes the catch.
Clock's running.
He did not get out of bounds.
Another timeout.
And the Panthers forced to burn a timeout after a minimal pickup.
We've got to attack the seams right now.
Yes, it looked like 2 man. It looks like man coverage. It was 2 man. They had the linebacker or the safety coming down, kind of robber, and when that happened, he took away Andy Dalton and made him all of a sudden go outside immediately. You got to understand with a Jim Schwartz defense that he's going to throw things at you that make you see things at the pre-snap read that makes you hesitate. So what Andy Dalton needs to do is understand at the snap of the ball, before he snaps the ball, he needs to be confirming where he's going with the ball, not snapping the ball and discovering where he's going with the ball.
This is 3rd and 3, right? We have 1 timeout left with 18 seconds. The Brown,
blitz.
He's got to send something, but we got to get it and get out of bounds. You don't want to waste that timeout, so you can come back and try to hit something down the seam to get into some type of field goal range.
Dalton's 9 out of 10. Looking T-Mac's way. And good coverage that time. You mentioned Tony Brown right there, step for step. It's 4th down.
Yeah, Andy looks pretty frustrated on that. I think he's disappointed. That was an opportunity. Now, T-Mac, he fought, kind of hand fought a little bit at the line of scrimmage. you want to run, you got to keep going, right? I mean, it's one that it was kind of like a hesitation, but like go, you got to go.
The hesitation has to do with his lack of speed on that. He came off almost what Ricky Pro used to tell me, and Richard Williams, who got rest his soul, hey, don't sneak up on the guy. Attack. He didn't attack. He snuck up on him trying to trick him.
Sam Martin with a pretty nice little punt.
4 seconds to go. Coming up at halftime, now Carla Metz with a conversation with Bryce Young. We'll get to see that. Young entering season 3. Over the last 3 weeks of last year, the only quarterbacks with a higher QBR in the NFL than Bryce Young were Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes.
That's a cute stat.
10 touchdowns, rushing and passing, and no picks over those 3 games. Sanders takes the knee. The Browns take a 14-7 lead into the locker room. Carolina's passing attack has been pretty accurate, 13 out of 17 in that first half, but Shedeur Sanders has delivered with a couple of TD passes.
Welcome back to the Bank of America Stadium, where the Browns lead the Carolina Panthers 14-7. And listen, the Carolina Panthers fan base loves seeing that touchdown drive from Bryce Young to Jalen Coker in the second drive of the game. But a lot of their hope really stems from a lot of last season, especially those last 3 games where the Carolina Panthers went 2-1. Bryce Young had 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in that game. And it's really that led a lot of people to question, was there really a big difference from Bryce Young toward the end of the season? It's something the quarterback reflected on toward the end of the offseason this year.
Coming back here, what's different about you now than when you were here?
Yeah, I got way taller from high school to now. Like, no, that's not. I don't know. You know, obviously a lot more experiences in life, you know, growth. But, you know, to be honest with you, I feel like there's a lot of similarities from where I was at in high school till now. Been exposed to a lot more. But I think there's a lot of similarities from, I guess, the way I thought, my approach. I've been super blessed to, from a young age, have a lot of great people around me that I've trusted to try to help me to be the best version of myself that I'm still trying to perfect. Probably know more now and have a different process, but I think it was probably more similarities than differences. Honestly, I've never been someone who's really looked too far ahead. I believe God ordains my steps, and so I've always just tried to be the best, focus on being the best version of myself at that time. Focus on being the best version of myself at that time. Lead me wherever he feels like I need to be. Lead me wherever he feels like I need to be. I feel like my best piece of advice would just be to run your own race. Everyone has a different path, everyone has a different journey, and everyone has different timing. It's hard sometimes to look at that, people around you, especially try to compare to other people, and it can be very discouraging to do that. Especially at the NFL level, you see people accomplish their goals from so many different paths and through so many different avenues, and there's no right or wrong way to get there. So just to focus on what's important and to run your own race would probably be the best advice I have.
You could tell Bryce Young's temperament hasn't changed at all, but his teammates did tell me this offseason that his understanding of the offense has really allowed for lighter moments through OTAs and through training camp. They're having a lot more fun out there in this second year of the Dave Canales offense. But listen, we got to talk a little bit more about what happened in the first half, especially with those starters. We'll get to that. And of course, how about some high school flag football from the girls? We'll get to that coming up. In North Carolina, nearly 140 high schools are competing in girls flag football this school year, making it one of the largest high school programs in the country. The Carolina Panthers are helping lead the way in that growth in this movement through grant funding and other resources, which provide access and opportunities for girls to compete as the potential for sanctioning as an official high school varsity sport grows in our region. Tonight, the Panthers are proud to celebrate high school girls from across North and South Carolina for being trailblazers in the sport. And of course, we've been able to see Palisades High School and Butler take the field over halftime. Both of those schools were a part of the championship league just get to stats and highlights. Join the guys back up in the booth. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about, and of course a whole second half to get to here at Bank of America Stadium. We'll be right back.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Atrium Health. At Atrium Health, we do more to keep you moving, achieving, striving at every age. With you, preseason game and 1 half. How much can you realistically take away from what we just saw?
I mean, 10,000 feet above, you can't take anything from it. But these coaching staffs, both of them are looking at the details. How much detail does a guy know where he lines up? Does he execute communication? And does he know does he look like he knows what he's doing?
We talked about the wide receiver room early in the broadcast. Jalen Coker made some plays in the first half.
Jalen Coker has always made plays, and just the way he catches the football, it's away from his body. He never lets the ball come into his body, and he's done that tonight. And just his reaction, even on the out route on the 2-minute drive from Andy Dalton, as soon as he planted his foot in the ground, he got his head around immediately. And that's something that Ted McMillan's going to learn from, because he had an opportunity for a touchdown in the first half, but he didn't get his head around immediately. And that's something that learning the NFL game is just quicker. Everything's quicker.
Coker had the first Panthers touchdown. It came off a throw from Bryce Young, and that was early in the game.
Yeah, Bryce did a good job. He had a decent enough pocket, but just felt a little pressure. Got out to his right, saw where the corner wasn't looking, that Steve alluded to earlier, and makes a little hand gesture to Coker, and that's being on the same page. Just being on the same page. As soon as he made the hand gesture, let it go.
The rough part is that's just one of the young guys not understanding what's going on. But you need these kind of problems. But then you got a young guy sitting in the pocket. Shedeur Sanders catches the ball, throws it to Davis. Hey, you can never go wrong when you're throwing the ball to 89.
I knew that was coming. And another one, we came on a pressure with Radigan. Shedeur moved around in the pocket a little bit, reset his feet, made a nice throw. Very impressed by what he's doing. It's been a fairly clean first half. It hasn't been that. It just hadn't been messy. Usually preseason gets very messy. It hadn't been that messy.
That's a good job, and shows that both of these teams are well coached.
That's exactly right.
Here's a look at our halftime stats, brought to you by Bank of America. Not much of a run game for the Panthers. Through the air, Bryce Young and Andy Dalton both pretty accurate, but in the margins, Steve, we talked about it. Some ill-timed penalties, some mistakes, and some of it is to be expected considering it's the first preseason game.
Well, you had talked about they got a penalty. That's a 54-yard swing of adjustments, and then you look at that, you add that to the passing yards, and then all of a sudden it looks a lot different. But at the end of the day, what you're gonna have to do is cut down the penalties, be smart, but at the same time, allow your young guys to make mistakes on the field. When you draw up these plays, when you call them, you're in a air-conditioned, nice, comfortable seats. You probably got a cup of coffee, you got some sunflower seeds, you got the note-taking. But out here in the field, none of that works. You have to apply all the coaching and do all of your teaching while somebody's pushing you or pulling you or holding you.
We will likely see Jack Plummer when the Panthers go on offense here. Carolina won the opening toss and deferred, so they received the third quarter kick from Dustin Hopkins. And back deep for Carolina, Imani Bailey and Jimmy Horn Jr. Bailey began his career playing for the Fighting Delomes at Louisiana.
That's exactly right. He was a Raging Cajun, and then he ended up transferring to TCU, moved back home to play for the Horned Frogs.
Oh, he upgraded, huh?
No, he did not.
I was waiting for it.
So was I.
Bailey will take a knee, and with the new rule this year, A touchback like that brings the ball all the way out to the 35-yard line. It looks like it's going to be Andy Dalton coming out on the field. So we expected Jack Plummer to play most of the second half, but Dalton comes in for at least one more series. Remember, he started 5 games last year when Bryce Young was benched after week 2. And when you look back, Jake, that week 3 win, that meant a lot for Dave Canales. It validated his offense and his process when Andy Dalton, with everybody doubting the Panthers, took this team to Las Vegas and delivered a W.
Well, there's no doubt, because we put up a ton of passing yards that game. The first 2 games, it was pretty stagnant. We really didn't do anything on offense. So that was something that I think everyone in the Carolina regions wanted to see. Okay, they can put up something. We just need quarterback play to improve. And Andy brought that to us, and then lo and behold, Bryce gets back in, and then we see Bryce being able to play and improve as the season went on.
A gain of 3 by the rookie from Georgia by way of Florida, Trevor Etienne. Out of empty. Dalton lobs one down the left sideline and too far for David Moore. 3rd down. We'll go back to Etienne. He used to come to this stadium to watch his brother Travis play for Clemson in ACC championship games. And in week 1, Panthers-Jaguars, it's going to be a big family event for the Etiennes, Trevor and Travis.
There's no doubt there will be, and I'm just so proud of the way you see Etienne. They're both from Jennings, Louisiana, about 45 minutes from where I grew up.
Not Etienne, Etienne.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, I'm very proud. But yeah, I'm sure the family will be very excited for week 1.
On 3rd down. Incomplete for Coker.
That's good coverage. I mean, that's a good throw. Time was on time. Coker ran a good route, but you know, Dom Jones, he made a great play. He really and truly did.
4th straight Panther drive that is ended.
We just saw the replay, and I know we're offensive people, but that was interference.
That was interference, but Coker also looked like he got his legs tangled up as well, so that helped the coverage.
Sam Martin will punt to the former South Carolina Gamecock, Gage Larvidan. Drafted rookie, Fields, inside the 15, angles left. Has some room to run, and a potentially touchdown-saving tackle by Isaac Gifford, undrafted rookie out of Nebraska. His older brother Luke has played for Dallas and Tennessee, now a linebacker with the 49ers.
That's a great job, and that's something that I think we need to address. The gunner situation on this football team. Steve knows all about gunners. You have to get 2 guys on the outside. They've got to get down, and they have to be your enforcers. They got to be your tacklers, right? Yeah. Well, we lost Sam Franklin, who was pretty darn good at it. Lonnie Johnson, we didn't re-sign. He was now with the Raiders, the Vegas Raiders.
Amari Barno was cut.
Yeah, so that's something that I don't know if we found those guys yet. Are they on the team? And this is what makes the preseason so important. You're auditioning not only for your own team, you're auditioning for everybody else in the NFL.
Shedeur Sanders has played the whole game for Cleveland. And we got a big pass breakup by Shamar Bartholomew. The question of who's that next cornerback behind Mike Jack and J.C. Horn. Well, it's Bartholomew and Thornton competing for that spot. Shaw Smith-Wade seems to have the nickel locked up.
Yeah, Thornton has done a great job. He really showed up tonight, making tackles, and I think he'll continue to play out. You go through this game, you go through the practices against Houston this week, playing Houston. I mean, it's still a lot left to be decided.
This is the type of game Thornton is having for a young guy. You want to, as a coach, you want to congratulate him. You want to tell him good job, but you also get concerned that he may start feeling himself a little bit how well he performed, and doesn't maybe take the detailedness of it and knowing you got to do it each and every week.
Look at Princely Umanmielen.
And he's one that we didn't get to call his name much in the first half. But watching him rush, we had a lot of stunts and twists and games up front. He did a really, really good job. His speed, his length, his power, his speed.
DeMar Richardson on the safety blitz. Did not lose speed on the pursuit of Shedeur Sanders, and Now, Richardson was the guy this time last year. He was the Corey Thornton. We couldn't stop calling his name.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Blitz from way back, stayed pursuit. I love the little push too. He had it for a second. He was trying to go for the football, so it caused fumble. Trying to get that havoc play.
Undrafted free agent out of Texas A&M last year. Made the team, started a few games. This is TJ Luther. Played his college ball at both Wofford and Gardner-Webb. Signed to the Carolina practice squad in December. 14-7, Panthers trail the Browns. You're watching Panthers football, presented by Adrian Health.
See you Sunday.
Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium. 12:43 left to go in the third quarter, and I am joined by a new running back for the Carolina Panthers, Rico Dowdle. You're coming over from the Cowboys after over a 1,000-yard rushing season. I want to know, how are the Carolinas treating you right now?
Great. Everything been great. The people have been very welcoming, coaches, players, and of course, I'm back home from this area, so everything's been great so far.
The coaches have really bragged on you a lot about how quickly you've picked up on this offense. What about the offense lends itself well for you to perform good?
Just obviously, first and foremost, Coach Now he loves to run the ball, so you know he's gonna run it. So I say that first and foremost, and then you know, just you got Bryce out there, up and coming talent at quarterback, and then just the guys up front, great O-line, heavily invested in the offensive line up front. Those guys do a great job opening holes up, so definitely looking forward to getting in the season.
Yeah, coaches expect you and Chuba Hubbard to be kind of a 1-2 punch on the run game. What have you learned from Chuba and just working with him over the past couple of weeks?
Honestly, that guy, I've never seen nobody work harder than him. Chuba, after practices, in the building early, just taking care of his body and things. I do that too, but he's next level with it, so definitely just trying to get on that. And then, you know, just iron sharpening iron, piggybacking off. We go out there at practice. He bringing the best out of me, and I bring the best out of him, and that's the standard each and every day.
You mentioned you're from the Carolinas, Asheville. You also went to college in South Carolina too. How's it feel to be back? And you got some other Gamecocks on this roster too.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of Gamecocks out here. It's like 5 of us, and then like you said, grew up in Gaffney, South Carolina, like 50 minutes from here. Was in high school in Asheville, North Carolina. So definitely great to be back in front of family and friends, and where it all started for me as a little kid. So definitely great to be back.
Yeah, Gaffney, South Carolina. And she knows about the Peach Water Tower, right?
We all do. That was House of Cards way back when, which popularized the giant peach driving down 85. Speaking of local products, Dominique Daphne, Charlotte native, NFL journeyman on his 5th team. Trying to compete for a spot. Listen, the tight end position, Jake, You got JT Sanders, who has been one of the guys that's gotten a lot of pub throughout camp. Mitchell Evans is the rookie from Notre Dame. Tommy Tremble coming off back surgery, so there is potentially a need for a third tight end going into the season. Here's a screen, and it looked like Jimmy Horn Jr. never got untracked. Chuba Hubbard last year was the bell cow in the run game, almost 1,200 yards, 4th highest single season rushing total in franchise history.
And I think it's going to be great having Rico, and I think Chuba will welcome that. We want to run the football. We want to be a downhill running football team. But when you can kind of get that balance, I mean, you and I played with it. D'Angelo and Jonathan, they played both a decade in the NFL because they were able to kind of keep some tread on the tires.
Dalton pump fakes and devoured by the turf monster.
Yeah, that's one. Andy is done. He's laughing at himself. He's going to get teased.
Yeah.
You know, I was so athletic, I never had to worry about things like that.
There's 2 problems. One, you got to take those Jordans off after doing that. You can't wear Jordans.
Is that why I was not allowed ever to wear Jordans?
Yeah, because his gene pool looked like your gene pool. Not very good at the moment. And I love Andy Dalton. Red Rocky's great, but that one right there,
that's one that's going to be rewound many times. Inside screen.
Inside screen. It's James Mitchell out across close to the 45-yard line to the 44. It's going to bring up another 4th down for the Panthers, and that is yet another punt for Carolina. 3rd catch for Mitchell, who has been another eye-opener in training camp. Spent the last 3 seasons with Detroit, former Virginia Tech Hokie.
Yeah, he's one that, in talking to the coaches, his name got brought up some. So many opportunities because Tommy is out. There's other opportunities. So guys you don't think might have had that chance, they truly had that opportunity.
Martin's kick is fair caught by Larvidan. And it's Cleveland ball. Panthers have punted on 5 straight drives. We'll be back after a word from your local Panther station.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
You want one?
No.
Oh.
I'm not going to be there.
Oh, we're on live TV. 9:24 to go. 3rd quarter. Nish Roth, Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith.
Senior.
You didn't let me finish.
I'm joking.
No, I know you are. Sometimes you are. Sometimes
I'm not.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Yeah, I know. You keep us on our toes. Shedeur Sanders still in the game for Cleveland. We get a flag. Listen, locally, here in Charlotte, tomorrow becomes all about the Panthers. Nationally, it's going to be all about Shedeur Sanders. Offer context, Jake.
No, absolutely, because all we've heard about is that, oh my gosh, they have so many quarterbacks. Who's going to be the quarterback? They get Joe Flacco and then Pickett, and then they draft Dylan Gabriel, and then who drafted Shedeur? And then the owner comes out and saying, well, I didn't draft him. You know, it's like we want to make up these stories so much, and we never saw the kid play. Now the kid gets out to play, and you know what he looked like tonight?
A good quarterback.
A professional quarterback. That's what he looked like tonight. A professional quarterback that throws the ball well, that for his first opportunity, he's doing fantastic.
And his first opportunity in the game where he's had limited opportunities in practice. Correct. You see some of the highlights in practice. Not his fault, but you see it, ball snapped over his head. That's not his fault. Ball is snapped too low. But he's out there, they run a 3-by-1 double, 2-by-2. He's going through his reads, doing his checks downs, throwing the ball in space, leading his receivers open, favoring his receivers. So he's done an exceptional job.
This is where, and this is the part that we haven't seen yet tonight, 2 illegal motions on this drive. We haven't really seen that tonight. And that's the thing preseason gets. It gets to be, oh my gosh, here we go again.
Ball start. Offense, number 62. The distance to the goal. Second down.
Okay, so we got a new center in the game. Like, those are the things that, hey, hone in, guys. When you're in the huddle, hone in, guys. Let's go. One play at a time. Just hone in. Let's not make mistake after mistake. And that's something that I think what's been so impressive about this game is that we haven't seen that until this drive.
Backed up from the 4-yard line. Sanders now in his own end zone. Steps up, throws low, incomplete, intended for Bates.
Yeah, that's a really nice job by stepping up in the pocket, finding it, but gosh, you want to make that throw.
I think he saw it late.
Yeah.
I think he was looking towards the numbers and saw somebody flash in front of him, so he made the adjustment. Great job making an adjustment. Just has to follow through a little bit more.
Panthers bring in an extra defensive back, Isaac Gifford, number 25. It's 3rd down and 18. Ball on the 4. Check down throw over the middle, well short. That gives the punter more room. It's 4th down. I wonder,
okay, something as simple as that.
Yes.
That play's being brought in. The ball's on the 4, right? The punter is how far back from usually when he punts?
10.
So the punter's going to be, he's backed up, right? He's in the end zone. Hey, Shedeur, give me some room here. I'm sending you double stick. So he knows right away, double stick. And what does he do? He throws it on the inside shoulder because the defender's playing on the outside shoulder, so he can turn it out. Punter has room, now we're on the 11. That's a professional play.
And more penalty markers.
12 players in formation on the defense. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
So now 4th and 5. Well, the Browns have come out and said, hey, we're open to taking 4 quarterbacks. Now, realistically, let's say Flacco's the guy to begin the season. What does that mean for Kenny Pickett? Is he trade fodder? You drafted Dylan Gabriel, you drafted Shedeur Sanders, but even if they take 3, Sanders started this game from the Cleveland perspective because there was nobody else. Now, they weren't going to play Flacco. Pickett and Gabriel were both nursing hamstring injuries as ETN maneuvers his way just shy of the 40. It'll be interesting to see if Cleveland recalibrates their thinking of the quarterback pecking order. Panthers football presented by Atrium Health. June, the David and Nicole Tepper Foundation announced more than $10 million in grants to support the 10 partner food banks serving North and South Carolina. This single commitment is the largest in the foundation's history, and it comes at a critical time as the food banks report a decline in public funding and private donations, along with rising costs and growing demand. Addressing food insecurity has been a core focus of the Teppers philanthropy since they acquired the Panthers in 2018. Andy Dalton's still in there, and he is intercepted.
Yeah, we tried to run it naked, and David Moore was coming on the crosser. Andy had some pressure in his face, and he thought he could get it to David on the crosser. And eerily similar to Atlanta Falcons game last year. Same direction. Yeah. Trying to run it naked, and just ball was a little bit behind, and unfortunately it was a pick.
Threw that off his back foot. Nick Needham with the INT.
He has a pursuit of the line. He has a pursuit of the D lineman. And then you have the corner sitting there, so he has to step up and throw the football. That's one of those, they just had, those guys get paid as well.
There's no doubt.
A second turnover for the Panthers. Let's see the Browns go with a shot play here for Shador. Play action. Underneath, that's his tight end, Canelo. Flag down.
Lineman downfield, I would think. I think Stefanski's done a really, really good job of play calling tonight. It's timely screens. They've gone a lot of empty, a lot of 3-by-1, giving him throws that he can see, and just making it. He's running the offense.
And that was one of the new wrinkles in the offseason, really an old wrinkle. Stefanski taking over play calling duties.
Forward pass. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So, we talked about Shador nationally. Now what's going to be the narrative, right? But I just think for this football team, he's answered so many questions for this coaching staff because they have all these quarterbacks on the roster. His reps were probably so limited.
Correct.
So now he gets all this opportunity, and the coaches, when they're going to be watching the film, like, hey, yeah, okay, we got something here. Yep. The confidence the coaches are now going to have going forward.
And they should. Just the way he's been able to orchestrate what's going on.
Off play action. Sanders standing tall in the pocket. He's got Bates inside the 25. It's a first down. Now remember, Shador didn't take any first-team reps. And then coming into the game today, the Panthers initially, the first two series, played a lot of their ones on defense. Cleveland did not play their ones on offense. Sanders, 13 out of 22, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers.
But doesn't he look comfortable?
Very comfortable. Nice audible.
Now he's making a check at the line of scrimmage. Taking the run play from the right to the left.
This is Marshall. State Mountaineer, began his career at Wake Forest. Bam Martin Scott pushed him out of bounds. Martin Scott, former Gamecock, trying to crack the 53 in the mix at inside linebacker.
Here's one of the things I was speaking to someone, and they talked about Shador had the opportunities run with the 2s and the 3s, primarily in practice. And he's playing with some of the 2s and the 3s right now. So the comfortability that everyone has with each other does benefit. You benefit your quarterback, and your receivers know what each other's thinking because you've practiced it. So that's a great job of Shador putting in the work, understanding I'm not playing and I'm not getting all the reps I need in practice, but I'm going to go through it mentally and be prepared for when my opportunity comes, and he's doing that right now.
It's a good drive by Cleveland. They're running the football, they're throwing the football, but we have some young guys in there. Cam Jackson's in there. We have Harrison Hunt from SMU, the undrafted rookie, DJ Johnson, who's fighting for a job on this team, Thomas Incoon, someone from last year who's made plays in camp.
Sanders, swing pass, caught by Williams, and he's bumped by Thomas, finished off by newly acquired Chris Barnes, signed last Saturday, spent the last 2 years with Arizona.
Going through his progression is really good.
Doing it quick, making a quick decision, not holding on to the ball. He's had, I believe, we've had 1 sack on him Damani Richardson on the blitz. They gave Scorton the sack on the push out. Again, hustle play, and they gave him the sack on the hustle play when he ran and flushed him out of bounds.
3rd and 3 from the 5. Back to the ground. They did not get there. Williams stopped short.
They're going for it.
Well, this is interesting because with the new rule, let's say you kick a field goal, then you kick it off, and let's say you put it through the end zone, the other team has it at the 35. And part of what Dave Canales even talked to us about was, this is a go-for-it situation because if you don't get it, well, now the math says the other team has to go 95-plus yards, and the odds are strong you get the ball back with a short field. 4th down, 2 to go from the 4. Barbadan in motion, gets it on the fly sweep, and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, Stefanski had that play dialed up. I was very anxious to see if he was going to throw a pass on that play and let Shedeur throw it, but he knew right away, this is what I'm calling, this is the play we have in, and that's a great play on something like that. Get our defense, especially in a game when a defense looks to be getting a little bit tired, long drive, and look, let's get somebody, one of our speed guys, on a speed sweep and try to outflank them immediately, and that's exactly what happened. That's a good drive by them. Very nice drive.
Great job. Systematically did a really good job.
They answered. You have a turnover, and they answered. And that's something that Coach Canales talked about. Some of the must on this football team. And turnovers is one that we must have as a defense and must take, not give away.
14 points off Panther turnovers for Cleveland. We're back after a word from your local Panther station. Carolina Panthers football is brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, North Carolina's most preferred health insurer. Panthers a season ago, 5-12, but really a tale of 2 seasons. The first half, finding their identity, the benching of Bryce Young. The second half, we saw a team that pushed Kansas City and Philadelphia to the brink and had thrilling victories against New Orleans, the Giants, Arizona, and then the walk-off win at the end of the season in Atlanta, where Bryce Young accounted for 5 touchdowns. And that's a big reason why there's some optimism coming into 2025. Fielded on a bounce just shy of the 20-yard line as we check in with Carla Metz.
That's right. I'm here with one of those free agency signings on the defensive line. Turk Wharton coming over from KC. Now, you're from Missouri. You played D2 ball in Missouri. You played for KC. This is your first time playing football outside of Missouri. How are you liking Carolina so far?
I'm liking it a lot. You know, getting used to the weather. You know, sometimes it rains, sometimes it's super hot. But I'm liking it so far.
Mentioned that you're from KC. You got 2 Super Bowl rings. What can you take from the Chiefs and bring it over to the Carolina Panthers as far as that winning culture and that winning mentality?
I think I'm just taking everything and, you know, every day, you know, we fighting to do something. You know, we're trying to continue to build a championship culture. So, you know, from over there, you know, every day we was always detailed and always making sure that when we come to practice, we was out there with emphasis on something.
Is there anything in this game, especially the second half that we've seen so far, that you would want to tell your defense right now?
Just to continue to play hard, you know, and shake the nerves out. You know, there's a lot of young guys out there running around right now, so just tell them to just relax a little bit. And, you know, the field, we got to come ahead and make a couple more tackles.
A little interesting fact outside of football off the field, I was told that you can leg press 800 pounds, or is it more than that?
We're going to say 800 right now because I don't think nothing else can fit on the board. But, yeah, I can do that.
Is that anything that, like, how does that help you out there?
I think, you know, I'm always out here with these guys.
Niche.
Yeah, that's a guy who never skips leg day. 800-pound squats, leg press.
Yeah. I don't know if I did 800 in a week.
I can't count that high, Steve.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't in the weight room like that.
I didn't want to say it because I know what the weight room looked like, but I never saw you much in the weight room. But you came in shape. I can't say much else.
I can thank my mom and daddy for them good genes.
Jack Plummer downfield for David Moore.
And the Lord.
Yeah, Jack Plummer's in first play. During the interview, we run a screen, a beautiful play to ATN. We got linemen running downfield. Cade Mays rolling downfield, making a block. And linemen, they can't throw anymore. What I mean by throw, they can't dive. I mean, that used to be such a crucial play. You go back to Drew Brees and Sean Payton with the Saints winning the Super Bowl. Pierre Thomas, I mean, all the screens they would run with those linemen running out there.
Just chop nose woods.
2nd and 10. Plummer spent last year on the Panthers practice squad as the 3rd QB. Eluding the rush. Throws deep downfield. Moore open. Incomplete 3rd and 10. Jake, we were talking yesterday. You said there was a time when you were Jack Plummer.
My first 6 years in the NFL, I was him. Really 7 years.
So what do these reps mean for him?
It's your
now
life.
And the then.
It's your life. Are you going to continue on as an NFL football player? I mean, because really and truly, this will probably be the only snaps he's going to get the rest of the year. He's going to play in August, and hopefully he plays well enough, sticks on the team, and then he will not get snaps again until 2026, to be very honest. And that's how critical it is. And so you want him to come out and sling it and let it go. And Coach Idzik, offensive coordinator who's calling plays tonight, talking yesterday, hey, we want Jack to come out and play fast. We want him not to think, to play fast, in and out the huddle and sling it, let it go. Just let the ball go. And that's something as a young kid, you get in and you're so worried, oh my gosh, I have such limited opportunity. I want to make sure I do everything right. Make sure you start thinking instead of just playing. And that's one thing that, okay, what a huge play. It's 4th and 10. We've got to throw it to get a first down. Let it rip, Jack. See it, trust it, let it rip.
Browns showing blitz. Here it comes. Plummer stands in the pocket and throws incomplete. In the direction of Mitchell. Cleveland takes over at the 43.
And then Jim Schwartz, hey, let's go. We're going all out blitz. We're going to blitz him. Let the young kid, probably not used to seeing much of it, and he tried to stand in the pocket. He was going to get hit, made the throw. It was almost a completion. I do like that.
I like the throw. I like the throw that he made. It was not on him. It was the receiver drop, the tight end, Mitchell, James Mitchell.
So turnover on downs and back to Cleveland.
And a new quarterback for the Browns. It's Tyler Huntley, who was just picked up a few days ago.
Yeah, Snoop Huntley.
Former Utah Ute, your
Yes,
alma mater. He was a Pro Bowler a few years ago with the Ravens. Only played in a handful of games with Baltimore.
Lamar got
was
hurt.
the fourth alternate for the Pro Bowl, so he got the invite. He's been with Cleveland, was in camp with the Browns last year before being cut.
And then last year through the season, Miami, and why is this all coming together? He's run this offense before.
And he may do a lot of that, which is hand the ball off. So Huntley started 14 games in his career, most of his time again with the Ravens, 4 seasons with Baltimore. Pro Bowler back in 2020, and he did start 5 games with Miami last year.
Yeah, when you have the same family of systems like Mike McDaniel, like a Stefanski, you know, the Shanahan, everything's not going to be the same, but it's a family. And then like this particular play right here, this is just it's a traditional old West Coast route. It's called Hank.
Yep.
And all it is the tight end goes over the ball. You have 2 curls outside and 2 flats. And you just stare right at the tight end over the ball. And you bang it on him if he's open. If he's not open, you just feel a squeeze of one of the linebackers and go to that side, to the curl, to the flat. Just basic plays and just run it. Coaches just want to see you run a basic play.
Carla?
Yeah, we got Princely Umanmielen out there on the football field right now. He got a unique name. He's also a good football player, but that is not exclusive to his family. There are 4 Umanmielen brothers. 3 have played college ball. You have Prince, Princely, Princewell, and then you've got the youngest brother, Princeton. Now, their names, of course, kind of point to some royalty. Well, there's some reason for that. His grandfather was a former chief in Nigeria where Princely was born, so pretty cool nod to the heritage of that family.
Yeah, Dad wanted to honor the grandfather, and regal names for all 4 brothers. And Prince Will, currently at Ole Miss, where Princely played last year, 10.5 sacks in the SEC, which has become the premier conference in all of college football. They churn out the most pros year in, year out. And Umanmielen, you know, one thing, Steve, that jumps out, he's got a little swagger to him. He's not afraid to talk. He's got a little bravado to him.
That's good. He should. He's playing well.
That's why he came to you with that.
He's a prince.
Virtual measurement.
How about that, Hawkeye? We got a virtual measurement. A little short.
You know how many now with the Hawkeye, that means the chain gang is, look at that, those 3 guys right now.
Easiest job in the building.
They don't get any glizzies at halftime because they're not going to be working because of the Hawkeye.
Well, they're still going to be there as backups.
Ruling on the field is conformed. Is short. 4th down.
Conform?
It's preseason for everybody.
Gotcha.
3rd down.
Correction, 3rd down. It is preseason, and we're working through all the kinks, right? All right.
You like that glizzy at the turn?
I really do. No, but, you know, you get a young kid like Princely, long, bendy, you know, can really move, very athletic. Someone that I think was a great find for Carolina in the 3rd.
Huntley on the zone read keeper, chased by Umanmielen.
One player we haven't been able to call a great amount tonight is Lathan Ransom, the rookie out of Ohio State, the safety. And he's one that has made a ton of plays in camp, has been very active, but for whatever reason tonight just hasn't really seen a whole lot of him. That's one of the guys that I was truly looking forward to watching tonight. And up to this point, really not a ton of opportunities.
My Ohio State his presence kind of reminds me of a Kurt Coleman, guy that you know, he always knows what he's doing. He's reliable. You need one of those guys in your secondary.
Pressure coming. Huntley hit. Incomplete for Larvadan. Flag down in the backfield.
Yeah, it'll be roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 48. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Well, Lathan Ransom.
I think we lost Carla, but Ransom a big part of Ohio State's championship team. And you talk about a safety tandem, he and Caleb Downs. Last year, Downs projected to be a very high first-round pick in the 2026 draft. Huntley to throw on 1st and 10. Little screen pass. That's Toa Taua. Fights his way to the 15-yard line. Spent the last 2 seasons with the Michigan Panthers.
Of the, oh yeah.
UFL.
Of the UFL.
I was searching. That brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Browns in the red zone. Panthers staring at a 21-7 deficit in this preseason opener.
Thank you. Thank you. Great kick. Well done. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job.
Well, we've had some guys mic'd up today. Shamar Bartholomew, J.J. Jansen among them. And we go to the 4th quarter, preseason finale. Nate Schroff, Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith Sr., Carla Metz down on the sideline. Jonathan Stewart eating nachos or potato chips, just hanging out in our booth. He's here as well. I want to acknowledge him. Browns in the red zone to begin the 4th quarter. Taua gets the call and moves the chains. Stats after 3 quarters are brought to you by Bank of America. How much do you put into these? Preseason game 1. Shedeur Sanders got the start for Cleveland. Bryce Young and company, they got the first 2 series for Carolina. They accounted for the lone touchdown. Young to Jalen Coker. Not much of a rushing attack for Carolina tonight. Tyler Huntley into the game at quarterback for Cleveland. Quick slant thrown behind Keyshawn Johnson, undrafted rookie out of Western Kentucky, as you see Bryce Young and Adam Thielen. That connection, Jake, has been pretty successful the last couple of years.
No, it really has. And I think where it showed up was on gotta have it downs, the 3rd and the 4th downs that, you know, on some of the success we had in the passing game last year, it came with those 2. And And we talked about it at the Super Bowl, did a lot of interviews with them, and I asked Adam, did you threaten him? He said no. He said, but I think he just knew. We just developed that rapport with each other. And Steve can tell you the same thing. Like, there's certain plays, yes, you want to run the offense as a quarterback, but when you get deep down into it, like, hey, it's a gotta have it. Well, I know who's my gotta have it guys, and that's who I'm going to go with.
Yeah, but those gotta have it guys also have to prove to the quarterback that they can be dependable and they know exactly what they're doing when you got to have those plays.
It's 3rd down and 4 from the 6. Huntley under duress, and down he goes at the 5-yard line. Now, there was one other guy standing next to Bryce Young and Adam Thielen on the sideline, and it's a name to file away. It was Hunter Renfrow. He's a little banged up, not playing today, but Jake, 4 years ago, 2021, 100 catches, 1,000+ yards, had ulcerative colitis, had a big weight loss. He seems like he might be back to his former self, and he's been one of the surprise stories in camp. Hopkins with a short field goal attempt is good to make it 24-7.
And I'm glad we have him. We'll talk about him after
a word from your local Panthers station. For all home games this season, starting with a home opener against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday, September 21st. Don't wait to secure your spot. Get your tickets now at Panthers.com and join us for an unforgettable season of football. Home opener week 3 against the Falcons, and then back on the road week 4 at New England. Week 5, Panthers home against the Miami Dolphins. First 2 games of the season on the road, Jacksonville and Arizona, and of course one more preseason home game, Pittsburgh at the end of the month after a road trip next week to Houston. Jimmy Horn Jr. somehow got out of the ambush, and he's out to the 26-yard line. We were talking about Hunter Renfrow before we went to break, and Steve, the phrase that we heard a lot in camp was he's putting guys in a blender.
He's a great route runner. He knows exactly what he needs to do. When you look at Hunter Renfrow, and I was looking at Hunter Renfrow coming out of college at Clemson, when they won a national championship, it was old Mr. Reliable. right? Ran sprint right option. He knows exactly where he needs to be. Is he going to outrun anybody? It doesn't matter. He's going to outsmart you. He understands leverage. He knows how to get in and out of his breaks. He knows how to get low. But more than anything, he's reliable to know he will be in the right place at the right time. And that's what you want from a receiver. The quarterbacks. I know a quarterback I was just playing with, Jake Delhomme. At times, I was a great route runner. But it was when I started to go off script that would throw him off. And that's when it became problematic.
Yeah, it's difficult. And I was about to ask Steve this, like, when did you know, like, okay, now I truly get it? Like, at what year? Because you had success. Okay, rookie year, you're a Pro Bowler. Third year, we go to the Super Bowl. You become a household name. You have the injury the next year. Well, your 5th season in the NFL, I believe you won the Triple Crown, right? Led all 3 categories. You seem like you were just on a different level. Was it year 3? Was it year 4 that you got hurt, that we didn't get to see you? Like, when did you think that okay, now I know exactly who I am and what I am?
It was that year that I got hurt in the first game, and sitting at home and trying to train and trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and everything that I was able to figure out, it all started to happen at the same time. But when I really knew how to run routes, it was actually after that 2005 season. After the 2005 season, I learned what worked, and then I started going back and watching film on my opponents, but then also on myself.
And Jake, for a quarterback, when you have a guy who can go get it anytime, but now becomes that technician, what does that do?
Well, you know how dangerous he is. He's your security blanket. But when he takes it to the next level, then it almost feels like he becomes unstoppable, and you feel that it's unstoppable. I mean, I would get in trouble sometimes, probably, because I probably went to him a little too much. He might tell you I didn't, but I mean, like, I just knew that was my security blanket. If I'm in trouble, I am going to him.
But it was also things that would happen in practice and in the game where he saw how I was thinking and what he was thinking, because there's a lot of unspoken words, but just with body language.
After the sack on Plummer, the Panthers punt again. Martin boots it away. Larvidan drifting near side from the 32. Upfield to the 40, out of bounds, shy of the 45. 10:54 to go in the preseason opener for Carolina. Panthers trail 24-7. You're watching Panthers football, presented by Atrium Health.
If you want total health care,
back with 10:54 left in the fourth quarter. And if you missed it earlier, this is Bryce Young. Some of the highlights from today. That pass to Ted McMillan. What a beautiful catch.
That was a great catch. Good job keeping the line. Great soft hands to Adam Thielen. Directs traffic. Jalen Coker.
Bryce looked in control tonight. That's one thing I will say. We didn't run the ball probably as effectively as we would like, but he certainly looked in control in the pass game.
Did a great job.
Yeah, nice. And then
what? You got
had a little Luke Combs.
Luke Combs tweeted.
There we go. Here it is.
Yep. Seeing a Panthers touchdown just feels like home country music megastar and
like
die-hard Carolina Panthers fan.
He's a die-hard fan. I love some Luke Combs. He's a good person, too. That's the thing.
I love his music as well.
Oh, his music is pretty darn good. He's got a major following.
And what he helped to do in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene with the concert, you can't say enough. Helping the people up in the mountains in Avery County, that meant a lot. And that was something that resonated across the Carolinas. And the Tepper family, again, hey, have the stadium, whatever we can do for that cause. That's a community coming together, with football in the backdrop. Screen pass from Huntley. It's Tawa. And he's upended by Henderson. Jack Henderson, undrafted rookie out of Minnesota.
Huntley's really doing a good job. I mean, I think he just, hey, give me the play, get it out of my hand real quick. I'm going to drop back. If it's not there, use my legs. He had the one zone read for one of the first down runs and getting the ball out of his hands. And that's a credit to him.
It's difficult to be not on a team and then all of a sudden get on the team, and you're not just on the team. Now you're in the middle of the game calling the cadence and calling the plays.
And you're not playing right guard or right tackle, or where you have your guy next to you saying, hey, we're sliding right, or hey, we're having a double team here, a double team there, or you're pulling here. No, you're in the huddle, you're calling the play, you're breaking it.
Calling the play
properly. Break the huddle, look at the play clock. Are we in the right formation? Do I have a shift? Do I have a motion? Which, one thing I will say, Stefanski's doing a great job of giving these guys some screens tonight, giving them some, like designating it one side or the other, moving them.
We know Huntley can do that. And forward progress should give him the first down. It does.
But it's also, too, you got to look at the formation. You got to look at protection. Do you slide it? Do you switch it? All those things people don't understand. When you're sitting on the couch, everybody can do it. But when you get in the game and you got Bobby Brown, who's 352 pounds, 6'4", that'll make you second guess some things.
There's no doubt.
From the Panther 36, that's Tawa. I mean, you saw Cam Jackson come into the game a moment ago, rookie 5th rounder out of Florida. He might be somebody, Steve, that could begin the season as the backup to Bobby Brown at nose tackle.
What I love seeing I wrote on my notes, they love so far what they've seen from Cam Jackson. Now, I think he's done a great job of getting Dan Morgan on his side because he's wearing Dan's number. He's from Florida, so that really, hey, you got a brown nose, how you can get it.
Jake, Cam Jackson is from a town called Haynesville in northern Louisiana, as you see Dan Morgan. Near the Arkansas border. You know anything about Haynesville?
Haynesville is great football. Up north Louisiana, a few hours from where I'm from. They've been great, small school, I think a AA school, but multiple state championships, and they love some football down there. That's most people in the state of Louisiana. But one thing about all these young kids that are playing tonight, right? I say kids, these young defensive linemen. It's tiring, right? I mean, they're not used to these runs. And what I mean by runs, like so many plays in a row. There's a rotation in practice. There's a rotation in practice going for a few plays, I'm out. Now you're playing extended drives and things, and it's going a little bit maybe quicker than it is at practice because the play clock's rolling. So you learn so much when you go back, and then as we see Derek Brown on the screen, you watch Derek Brown practice and you watch him play. Like, these guys maybe take it a little more serious than I do, and then you play in a game, oh, okay, I see why they take it a little more serious. This is a grown man's game. This is very, very different.
Steve, we expect to see Derek Brown next week at Houston. The plan is for him to get in against the Texans.
That's going to be a great practice to be in.
What I want to know is the addition of Bobby Brown at nose tackle. What does that do for Derek Brown, guys like Turk Wharton, A'Shawn Robinson at end? What does that do when you have a Bobby Brown in the middle eating up two guys, and you still have these guys on the edge?
Well, first of all, you already see Derek Brown has 103 tackles as a nose tackle. So that tells you his willingness to be active. But the other part, too, is understanding the edge or in the middle doesn't move unless there are guys in there that can actually move, man movers, who can move people out of the way. Derek Brown demands a double team. But now you got Bobby Brown, who demands a double team as well. So now you have to pick your poison. You got Wharton on the edge. All of a sudden, DJ Wonnum, all of a sudden, and then Patrick Jones.
Touchdown, Cade McDonald, another rookie out of Miami, Ohio. And it is 30-7 Cleveland.
Yeah, that's just, it looks like a tired defense right now, right? They've been on the field a great amount. They're running the football at us, and then boom, we're going to throw a movement, and we're going to get somebody coming from the backside into the flat. And that's where the linebackers have to recognize. You can see Bam Martin Scott, he was delayed. He missed it. He saw the flow, the run action to one side. I'm a little delayed. Oh my gosh, my man's coming out the backside. And that's something that you got to build on. You got to learn, and that's an expectation moving forward. And it happens quick, right? It's Friday night. They're on the field. They fly out to Houston, and they're on the field with them on Thursday to play a game on Saturday. It just doesn't stop.
Hopkins misses the PAT. Oh, we expect to hear from Bobby Brown III later in this quarter, but first a word from your local Panthers station.
Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium. 6:03 left in this game, and we're introducing you another free agent signing for the Carolina Panthers, Bobby Brown III. Obviously, I was told by some of your teammates that you're quiet, but then I that you had a flag and you came out here and you waved it around, so it doesn't seem like you're a very quiet player.
I mean, I am pretty quiet if I ain't comfortable with you, but these guys, I'm cool with them, man. I love them all.
Where does your personality fit on that defensive line? We know DB, we know Shy Tuttle, A-Sean. Those guys are pretty vocal.
I would say it fit in pretty well because, like, we all different, but we all mix well, joke around, and have a great time, man, and work hard.
I heard that you and DB named your line something. Can you explain to the fans at home what you named it?
Meet the Browns.
Why is that?
We both, our last name Brown, we both the Brown brothers. That sounds crazy, though. That sounds crazy.
We've heard a lot from Cleveland coaches about how big of a body you've been able to be on the practice field. What does it mean to know that you're going to bring that size and that speed on the defensive side to Carolina?
It means a lot. I'm just here to try to help this team be better and win some games, man, and hopefully we can get the thing done at the end.
What have you seen from the defense so far tonight?
I've seen a lot of heart, a lot of effort, but I would say we need to clean up some simple things. It's the small things that matter.
You also have a Super Bowl ring from the Rams, but a lot of the guys on the roster were a part of that team. Is that something that y'all talked about over training camp at all?
Yes, man, we have. We talk about it often. It's hard not to reminisce winning a championship.
Yeah, and obviously, Anish, he's also a really good follow on Twitter. You're pretty vocal on X.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, thanks, guys.
And he eats up two human beings in the trenches as Imani Bailey just ripped off a nice run. Panthers have not had many big plays on the ground.
Yeah, nice run. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to bounce out and head north and south to get a first down.
And that last run good for 19. Panthers only had 20 total rushing yards. There's Bailey again. Spent time at both TCU and Louisiana, or as it was called when Jake played there, Louisiana Lafayette.
What are they called now?
Just Louisiana.
Yeah, back when I was there, we were University of Southwestern Louisiana. It was true directional school.
Oh, really?
But we are the Raging Cajuns and the one and only.
That's branding these days, right? It's just Louisiana.
Yes.
Did y'all have leather helmets too?
We might have, but that's all right. We were tough.
Hey, wasn't the head coach Brandon Stokely's dad?
Brandon Stokely's father, Nelson, correct.
Plummer able to complete. That's Jacoby George, undrafted rookie from Miami. Now the perfect time to make plans for Panthers football and ensure you'll be at every home game at Bank of America Stadium. As a PSL owner, you can take advantage of a convenient interest-free payment plan and experience exclusive PSL owner events throughout the year. Don't miss out on the excitement of the season, starting at just $21 per month. For more details, visit panthers.com/tickets/PSLs. First and 10 inside Cleveland territory. Bailey is subdued for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, it looks like we're just, kind of running Bailey, giving Plummer just a little quick outlet, just kind of finishing out this game. But let's finish it out with a touchdown, right? I mean, if you're Plummer, let's lead this team down the field and go get some points.
I think they're trying. It's also just so much, a little bit of confusion up front with the young guys, and then letting Plummer throw the football. You can
coming out
see
of the huddle. Now, nice job by Plummer getting them on the right side now, but that's exactly what you have to do. Hey, hurry up, aboard the motion, line up, get set.
Out of an empty set on 2nd and 10. 4-man rush underneath to Luther. Stays on his feet. Oh. Great contact balance. And TJ Luther finally driven out at the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 25.
Gardner Webb, good job.
That's a great job by Luther.
Great job, catches the ball.
Nice job of using the hands to keep his balance and to finish. You want to see guys finish.
Yeah, finish. Only coaching tape was put the ball over there on your left side just in case somebody comes to poke it out. The peanut punch.
There's no doubt.
Be able to go out of bounds.
Fellow Raging Cajun, by the way, Charles Peanut Tillman.
Oh, he was?
That's right.
That was the Panthers' longest play from scrimmage since the first quarter. Handoff to K'Ron Lynch-Adams. We were talking earlier, Jake, about how college players these days are a little older when they come to the NFL than they used to be. Case in point, Lynch Adams was born on April Fool's Day 2000. He's only 9 months younger than Chuba Hubbard, who's going into his 5th NFL season.
That's COVID, though. That was a lot of those guys with the COVID year.
COVID, you throw a red shirt in there.
Yeah, you throw a red shirt in there, and then the COVID year. That COVID year took forever, and it's added a lot of age, and a lot of these guys are coming out. You should start to see these guys start to get back younger.
Now, Lynch Adams, 25 years old, gets the call again. Spent last season at Michigan State. A couple of years ago at UMass. Ran for 1,150 plus yards.
Hold the phone. He's 24 years old in college?
Well, he's 25 now. Well, 24 in college is not as unusual as it used to be.
Where? Yes, it is.
At a lot of places with transfers and 5th and 6th and 7th year guys, you'd be surprised.
In the sports world, I'm still a little confused about that.
Underneath, that's Kobe Hudson. Hudson, a rookie out of Central Florida, UCF, also played at Auburn. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Panthers looking to get in the end zone one more time.
It's bow time.
It's not just football season.
Feel that heat, and you can time the boogie.
We're locked and loaded, baby. Oh, there's the camera. I knew it was coming.
You're not mic'd with the team, you're mic'd up with the NFL?
Oh, I have no idea. That's the NFL. Are you the NFL? Oh, no. I had no idea. I thought I was mic'd up with the Panthers. I'm mic'd up with the NFL. Oh, boy.
One of her favorites, the great J.J. Jansen, who is not just the longest tenured Panther, hasn't just played in the most games of any Panther. Earlier tonight, Jake, we saw J.J. talk the Panthers out of a penalty, and we thought maybe Carolina might go for it here on 4th and 3, but they do have a live kicking competition, so Ryan Fitzgerald will attempt a field goal.
I just have to say this. He's a holder. He's not a football player.
J.J. Jansen?
Yes.
He's a long snapper, technically.
Same thing. Him too.
Jansen to snap. Martin to hold. Fitzgerald, the rookie out of Florida State, puts it through. He was a perfect 13 of 13 for the Seminoles last year, including 5 of 5 from 50 plus.
no offense to JJ, but he's a long snapper.
You know, Hemingway said the great thing in life is to last and to get your work done. He's going to play till he's 40.
No, that's not true. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wait,
It is.
40 now?
He's 40 now.
It's 40 now, right? Yeah. I think is he 40 at the end of the season, or is he 40 now?
He's a long snapper.
260 regular season games.
It's a lot. I remember JJ when we first drafted him. I couldn't believe he's still here.
So he's 39. He'll turn 40 on January 20th.
Well, we're going to talk about younger guys now. And so Jalen Coker and Bryce Young, what a great play. And then here's Ted McMillan. And this is what we've seen from him. That's an unbelievable catch away from the body. And this play, he's going to learn so much from this play. And immediately, the young kid, like, hey, you're right. I need to get my head around. And here we got Shador getting the ball out. Nice catch. Floria's made some nice plays tonight. The rookie out of Kent State. He's really shown up. And here's Thornton coming up on the tackle. He's a young kid out of Louisville, undrafted, he's had to play a lot.
Yep.
And he's really done a good job. He's a big physical corner.
We've watched him get a lot of first-team reps in camp as well. That's what you want to do on these new kickoffs with the rules. They want to encourage returns. We get a flag.
Bam Martin-Scott with the tackle. That was very nice. Way to run down there and make a nice physical tackle. He's a kid that has a chance here.
Yeah.
So much to learn on a game like this. First game, and as many times as you go through it. And
Personal foul, illegal double team block on the receiving team. Penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. First down.
The 2025 season quickly approaching, and we want to make sure you stay connected. So sign up for text alerts and receive real-time updates, exclusive content, and special ticket deals directly on your phone. All you have to do is simply text Panthers to 90969. It is that easy. You'll be the first to know about all things Panthers, including game day updates, player news, and much more. Knee there from Huntley as we get close to the end. Next up for Carolina on Saturday, they'll be in Houston to play the Texans. So Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, those two went 1-2 in the draft a couple of years ago. Their careers forever linked together, and Houston's been in the playoffs the last couple of years, looking to challenge some of the top dogs in the AFC. Panthers with the arrow pointing up after last season, looking to take that next step in 2025. Also, Steve, of significance, there's a joint practice between those two teams.
Yeah, joint practice on Thursday. That's going to be really interesting to see ones versus ones, to be able to see which guy steps up. The joint practices get very chippy, get very lively. It's almost like a game. So there are times people utilize joint practices as an opportunity to evaluate their team, but also evaluate other players that may be a bubble guys that are on roster that you get to see up close and personal, and you utilize this information too to decide if your starters are going to play as well.
Last year in a joint practice with the Jets, an undrafted rookie for the Jets, Shamar Bartholomew, impressed, and after cuts when he was available, the Panthers went and signed Shamar Bartholomew.
Oh, okay.
Well, that does it for preseason game number 1. Cleveland 30, Carolina 10. Jake, will start with you again. Preseason, easy to jump to conclusions when you've been thirsty and starving for football, but what can you reasonably take away from today?
Oh, listen, I thought Bryce Young, I think you see the comfort level that he has and the plays that he made inside the pocket, outside the pocket. I think one thing I'm looking forward to next week, our run game. I'm looking for more from our run game next week.
For me, I just want to see the defense, see how they can, some of these young guys, can they last? Can they have these 10-play drives and still find that fortitude to come up there and make a havoc play?
This was fun. I like seeing you two go back and forth.
It's a lot of fun. It brings back great memories. And like we were both these guys, you know, these preseason games meant a lot and then transferred into the season.
We'll talk. See you from Houston.